What's going on, y'all? This is Uncle Jackie. I'm here with my boys, my brothers, Yellow Tape. Somebody's background is a little loud. I'm here with Yellow Tape and my man Moves.
Yo, what up?
What's going on? Somebody scruffling and moving around in the background. Little... Yeah, what's going on, man?
Not much,
We
man.
about to bring you out a story about Oh, Moves, what's going on, bro? I forgot the whole introduction thing. What's going on, brother? How you been, man?
We're doing all right, man. I'm, slaving it 7 days a week. You know how it is, but
Oh, wow.
decided to take a
I'm
break from the norm again and then sit back and chat with my gent friends here.
Yeah, appreciate you for coming through and making time, man. I know your schedule is hectic. I'm hearing a lot of
Yeah.
brothers, man. A lot of brothers saying they doing 6 and 7 days a week, and I'm sitting here like, wow, bro. Men out here working real hard, man. You deserve everything you get, everything you ask for, brother.
What's good, moves? What's going on,
What's going on,
everybody?
guys? How you feeling, brother?
Yeah, man, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? Yeah, everybody doing them 5, 6 days, 7 days type of thing, making that dough, trying to save up and trying to see if
Trying to save up.
trying to get that OT money.
I think it's a little to be for real. As one of them dudes that's not doing that, I think it's a little more to that. It's a good way for a man to keep it. I used to do it, so I do know I can. I think it's a good way to keep a man mind off of bullshit. Keep yourself working, keep yourself busy. You get what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
that might not be the
yeah.
case for everybody, but for some people, I
No,
mean,
I
why stay
wouldn't. I
home?
wouldn't recommend it, honestly. Like, it takes a lot of anger, caffeine, and lost dreams to do something like that. So, no,
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, though, obviously. But yeah, man. That the struggle's always worth it, man. You know,
everybody, but for some people, I mean, why stay? Yeah, it's real. Like, cause soon as I get my head on my shoulders, pause. I know I'm gonna be going ham. But this show basically is to inform people, of your rights and how police they're really not the good guys. And internal affairs, it's not the way like you see it on TV. It's not. Most of the time in them small towns, internal affairs is having lunch and dinner with the cops that they supposed to be investigating.
oh yeah.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? We're from 3 different states. I, I wish A was here because A is from another state. I think he lives in Oregon or something. So we have 4 different perspectives. Plus, Moves lived in 48 of the 50 states. So we
See, yeah.
so we get different perspectives
No,
on
it's
law.
wanted. It's wanted in 48 states. I've only been to like 4 or 5.
I got, but these cops are so hell bent on destruction. I'm about to play a vid of a gentleman. I don't know what he was thinking, but he put his own people in danger. Like, it's like, wow, is it for real? Look, look at that.
Just Friday. Yes, sir. I've seen you in about 5 minutes.
That's a man hell bent on this. He choked up his own cop, his own officer. Did y'all peep that?
Yeah, seen
Yeah,
that,
like,
man.
yo, that I'm gonna play it again. I know it's fast and it's this quick video. It's only 14 seconds. Oh wow.
Just Friday. Yes, sir. What you got? Just Friday. Yes, sir.
I mean, what are you thinking when you do that? What's wrong with you?
Oh
What's
well,
wrong with you?
That
That
I don't know, man. Like,
that's such. That's not thinking. That's too much power.
well, it seems like the the dude was reacting to his utility belt fucking being pulled from behind. Like, but at the same time, he also looked like he was going to give somebody what for, and she was trying to fucking stop him, and ended up getting grabbed, snatched up pretty bad.
Yeah, that's not good,
That's
and
a
it's
big
all
dude
on
too.
camera.
That's, you know, I also got to realize that like what I'm looking at is a pretty big cop. You know, like
Yeah, he was a
if
big
I
guy.
see that guy grabbing, I'm actually looking forward to seeing that guy grab somebody. You know, just to see what fucking happens, or see somebody smart off to him. And
Right.
you know,
And
but
I don't think it mattered to him.
that day it didn't.
Definitely
Because
not.
I can't speak for every cop's day, that's for sure. But at the same time, you know, I'll get to what I have to offer especially as far as police corruption here in a little bit in the stream today, or tonight rather. But yeah, because I've been thinking about it constantly. I did watch the videos that you sent me, and I didn't get I get to go through them as thoroughly as I really wanted to, but at the same time, I got the general idea of what this man is trying to attempt, and you know, kudos for him, man.
Have you heard of him before those videos?
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, that's why I did watch the videos, because the dude comes off as at first he comes off like a protester or a provocateur, and it's different. This is like, this guy, you can tell this guy is educating himself as he goes along, and not just as he goes along. He did his research before he did any of his videos and that kind of stuff, you know. So like, and I also have to remember that this is a layman. This is a guy who, you know, he has to educate himself, you know, in law, which is crazy, because in order to pass the bar, there's like, what, 10, 12 years worth of school that a guy has to take. So
I think it's 8, but yeah, it's still more.
Like
yeah, definitely still more.
Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Loud and clear too.
Cool. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, Long Island Audit. Shout out to Long Island Audit. Shout out to the First
Sean Paul
Amendment.
Reyes,
Shout out to the First Amendment auditors that's out there.
Eli.
To tag a word to Eli word. To come across, you know, and speaking of Eli, you know, it's people educating themselves, and it depends on how further you're going to educate yourself to understand the law, and to translate, be able to translate the law to other people. In life, you know, everybody is, you know, got their own opinions, got their own attitude, got their own demeanors, you know what I mean? And I just think that with Long Island Order, he has a certain that
you went back.
he could, you know, get away situation, and certain situation he won't be in he won't be put he won't be in a situation because of how it looks is one, and two, how he handle himself, and how he stay on a mellow, calm note, that, you know, he's not escalating, not down to another level. He's just trying to educate and let people know that certain things trump, you know, don't trump the Constitution, or don't trump the First Amendment. And you gotta respect his gangster. And I've been watching him for a long period of time, and wasn't watching him as much because how his movements was. He wasn't an agitator, or he wasn't a person that would get that that rah from, you know, he wouldn't go back and forth with the person that he's going across and trying to educate.
See, for me, Sean Paul Reyes, I've been listening to him for a long time too. Sean Paul Reyes is the most professional auditor that I've seen of all the auditors. Now I'm gonna end up doing a show on my top 3 favorites. Sean Paul Reyes is the most professional Then you
Mm-hmm.
got Amagansett Press. They
I
are the most
I got a
friendly.
question. Now, does Sean Paul, what is his bone to pick? Like, this seems like something either like happened to him or
Oh,
it.
it happens to everybody.
No,
He's
no,
got from Long Island, which means he's from New York. So you know
yeah,
how it was in New York, stop and frisk, all the injustices. He just decided, hey, I'm gonna walk around, and he's had lawsuits, he's made money, changed tax brackets. He is now currently he now if the I forgot which one, but he teaches the precincts now. Now he teaches the precincts on First Amendments.
Yeah, First
So
Amendment
he's
and the
he's earned he's made his
oh,
escalations
bones,
and
as
okay.
they would say. Sean Paul Reyes has made his
Cause
bones.
what it is, what it is too, and he just when prison just had the lockdown, not the lockdown, but they just had the strikes out there in the prison. I think in upstate or Connecticut, one of the other, I can't remember where it was, but just recently, within the last 4 months, 6 months. He was out
F.
there
Brian Fahey.
and he just was trying, let people know, like, what you're doing is illegal. You know what I mean? And just like how you want to dictate inside the prison system about how the prison is supposed to be and how the criminal is supposed to be run. You guys is committing crimes on the outside, and things has to stop. You know what I mean? 'Cause they were breaking they were striking. You know what I mean? But he's really deep. And like I said, shout out to him because he do it in a calm note, and he's out there educating a lot of people, and he came a long way.
Yeah, like he's the most professional. Amagansett Press is the most friendly, most approachable, easy to approach. It's easy to approach all of them, but
And
Amagansett
what
Press will rewind for you after you was made an ass out of yourself. He'll
and where they
rewind
was
for
at?
you and start over.
Where they at?
And hold up, let me get my third one. And the one that's the most live is Eli. Cause soon as you act like you gonna be disrespectful, you're gonna let you know you're not doing that here. You're not doing that here. I'm not running. I'm not a
Where the
punk. I'm
second
not
person
soft.
from? He from New York too?
Yeah, originally, because he's retired now, so and he's still like maybe 50 something years old. So he has some money. So he's from Long Island too, Amagansett, Long Island, and that's why he named his podium or his whatever platform, his platform, Amagansett Press, and he goes out with his son across the 48 states that are attached. The what do you call it? The
Oh, is he like a skinny older white guy with
with a
sunglasses
big beard,
you see half the time, and
with
he
a
messed
big
with the
beard.
precinct most of the time?
He don't mess with
Huh?
the precinct most of the time, no. But he is a white gentleman. He has a big old beard, and like I said, he travels with his son Ben, and he goes into
Okay.
towns like he can get away with he's one of them dudes. Like if Eli would have come down here and I would take him to North Decatur for him to do his thing, we'd probably get arrested because
Yeah,
that's the best
it's
place to go to do that. Because North Decatur is prissy. They not trying, they already have their way of doing things. So,
yeah.
that's where the creme de la creme is. So I would definitely suggest going to North Decatur, East Atlanta, where it's nicer, the nicer areas, because they're used to a certain way things going and they don't understand, they don't even know their rights or laws. But Amagansett, I think he came down here already, and he already got him with his kindness and such. I was mad I
What
missed
up,
that one.
Grace? What up, CeeLo?
Well, I,
Hey,
I
um,
gotta, I
You know
gotta
what
hand
up?
it to the guy. I really gotta hand it to the guy that we were talking Sean Paul before, and anybody who wants to shake the bushes, so to speak, and see what falls out, so to speak, and um. Like I said, it takes a certain level of bravery. I've got a couple of articles I'm going to send you, and if we can show them tonight, it'd be great. If not, you're absolutely fine too. But there was a cop killed about 12, 14 years ago here in Kentucky, and The circumstances around his death are pretty provocative. And provocative, I mean, well, he was in a patrol car that didn't have a radio, which normally he does. The night that he was killed, somebody dragged a log, a dead log of wood, a tree branch, a large tree branch across the road. And when he was on his way home, it was on his route at the end of the evening, and he got out of his vehicle to move this branch out of the way, and he was ambushed by one or two guys, and he was gunned down. And the reason why he was gunned down is because he was trying to clean up Bardstown, Kentucky. And that's a crime that had little investigation in it whatsoever, and the details of the crime itself leave it up to details that only cops would know. So yeah, if you look up Officer Jason Ellison from Bardstown, Kentucky, let's see here. I'll bring up the yeah, it's 12 years with no answers. Here, I'll just send you a local link. Jack.
Oh no,
Jack.
appreciate that because I'm always looking. I'm always and these small. It's all right. Being in New York City, we have a whole different set of laws. Like we have 5 boroughs, and it's all the same thing. But you sit here in Georgia right now. I'm in DeKalb County. It's one set of rules. And down here, if you're doing something stupid, take yourself to Fulton County. You get as closest to New York as it's going to be in terms of the judicial system. They want you in and out. It's the biggest city. But once you step foot into a Clayton County, aka Clayco, I just got the message. Clayco, Barrow County, these small counties. Where were you at, bro? You were in what? I forgot where you were at. I forgot how to make fun of you anymore. Where were you at, Doc?
I'm in Kentucky. I'm about 12 miles outside of Bardstown.
No, not you, Doc, because Doc lived out here before. Thompson. I don't know what county that is. I don't remember what county that is, but those small towns, if you sit there on your own porch smoking a blunt, they're gonna bum rush you like you have a gun. Don't be black either.
Yeah.
But
nope.
Yeah, like it's not like. Is there such thing as the only bad part about being conservative sometimes is when you're conservative for the wrong things.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are brought up to not like certain groups. Doesn't matter which group. It might be all of them, might be one. Might be not. I mean, I'm talking about
But even
that kind of tradition. If that don't, apply to people, then of course it don't apply. Sometimes you break the cycle of it. Like, hey, my best friend is Jamal, and that's what it is. Sometimes that's what it is.
No, chill out, man. He's my grandfather and all, but but he's my grandpa. He's just old and stupid.
Yeah, then you don't take Jamal over there. Don't take him over there. Like you want him to meet him, but it's like you don't want him because he's not going to shake his hand because he's
or look him in the
other
eye.
side is conservative.
You won't look him in the eye or anything. It's fucking.
Yeah,
awkward.
he's not going to respect you.
Like,
but let's get in. I don't want to do a 4-hour. Let's get into what kicked off the Sean Paul Reyes Brian Fahey beef because that was like police get away with everything, man. Just like women, no accountability. I said it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's where I thought I'd add.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What were you saying, brother?
No, that's where I thought I'd be able to add on a different flavor to it because there are a lot of folks out here that are very disappointed at the death of Jason Ellis. They saw what efforts he was trying to do to clean up the town, and he made it very public that he was going after a lot of the big dogs locally here, and that he was going to have coordinated efforts with the local FBI. And no, I mean it all fell short, of course. So, well, let's watch a video here. Let's watch video here, and we can elaborate even more on those details later. But right now, it's on Sean Paul, right?
Yeah, what's going on, Sword Bean, man? Long time no see, man.
What's up,
Appreciate you
man?
dropping in.
Peace, God, peace.
Yeah, what's
But
up,
we was
man?
about to watch basically, you know, the show. Basically we talking about how this officer Brian Fahey, who actually got to retire instead of, you know, face justice, how he's
Hmm.
getting away with some things. And this is the video that started the process of the beat pause.
Doesn't matter. Well, that was a warm welcome. Behind me is the Connecticut State Police Training Academy, which houses the Connecticut Police Officer Standards and Training Council. We are here today in Meriden, Connecticut, submit a revocation complaint for the certification of former Sergeant Brian Fahey. As we all have seen, he's engaged in egregious misconduct. I should get to work. Is that what you're telling me? If you're busy, we're gonna have a problem with you and I. I'm not the one. I'm the one to stand there and hold your cell phone in my face. What you wanted to do? Stop pushing me. I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in the building.
That's the second.
You have business here. Stop
See the
acting
shirt
like
changed. It went from pink to blue. That's the second encounter. And this is the.
who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Right now, spit in my face. Stop me. Right going to jail now. Criminal misconduct. He needs to be held accountable, and he needs to have his.
Yeah, I've seen that. That man spit in that man's face.
Yeah.
Hey, did he say that he's on that dude's property?
No, now listen,
No, he
Sean.
said you
Let me
came
break,
to my
let me break it
property.
down. 'Cause I know where you're going. Wait, who's that in the back? Somebody's background is staticky. But
Okay.
as a hold on, I don't know how to. As a journalist, he went to the man's house to ask him questions because Brian Fahey makes 75 grand a year
Yeah.
in
So
overtime.
yeah, but that
In
doesn't
OT.
that doesn't negate the fact that the cops got the same laws of that apply to him that apply to Mr. Sean Paul. You know, like
Now,
if you know it and I know if we go up because we're in the South or out in the country, if we go
right.
on somebody's property, guess what? You're living and breathing at their discretion.
No, you're right. But he had
You
no
know,
trespassing signs. And if I get the chance and I can find the video, he shows how he walked and he sat there and was looking to make sure. The dude is a First Amendment auditor. Like he makes sure he crosses his T's and dots his I's. And
Yeah,
as
and
we went, and I
also,
say we because I was there too in spirit, but you know, watching, and I'm sitting there like, all right, because the first thing I said was what you said, like, man, you about to get blown away. You playing games, bro. He's like, there are no trespassing signs. As I walk through the neighborhood, there are no trespassing signs, and he had a cameraman with him. So I
well, the
mean,
thing of it is like that a lawyer can argue even if he did have no trespassing signs that or especially like beware of dog signs. Excuse me.
he didn't have anything.
Yeah, but that's the
yeah,
thing. When you do have signs, that there are reverse laws where you can go into a courtroom and oh well, why do you have private property signs? You know, your property is listed as residential. It's not a private property, or you know, there's a lot of legal jargon that can be thrown into a court case when it comes to private property, which is why you have private property laws. You're allowed to protect your goods all the way up to making somebody forfeit their right to breathe. You
yeah,
know,
And I agree. I
there,
know this, but
there's
number one, they're
steps,
in Connecticut.
there's steps to
They're in
that. You know what I
Connecticut.
mean?
They're not down here.
Like before you could shoot somebody on a private property, if you don't want nobody on your private property, you gotta have it gated up. You know what I mean? Now if they come across that gated with that private property sign, then
Yeah,
then they obligated to feel the wrath or whatever they feel after that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
now
Also,
there's an opening, and even though it's a private property sign, I go to the door. The door is um not gated. You know what I mean? It's not like I can't reach the door without you coming to me. You know what I mean? So if I could reach the door and I'm coming as a press, or even I'm coming as a person selling cookies, you know what I mean? I could come as an Uber driver that's lost, you know what I mean? That got brought to the wrong place. Um there's steps that have to be cross for a person to use lethal force or force in general to negate that person off their property.
I strongly disagree with that. You step onto my property, whether there's private property signs or a fence or anything like that, unannounced, and dude, you're like, I'm obviously
But
going
you're
to
not gonna
read
do it
each.
now for yourself.
Yeah, but if
But
if the person that you think is trespassing on your private property is in a common area where the expectation is anybody could be able to pass here to get to your house to knock on a door, something
Yeah,
like
but dude,
a
no,
like
it's
a
not your
passageway.
right to be able to knock on my door. Period.
Well,
Like, there's
Yeah,
no
they kind of
door.
said it
you're right about that.
in Connecticut. They said it was. That's why
Oh,
that's why we're doing this
so
now.
okay. So in Connecticut, you can not
You
you can
you have to
freely
go through steps, like Doc
you
said. You
can
have to
you can
go through
freely
steps.
solicit anything that you want, from Girl Scout cookies to census to
Hey,
God knows
if
what,
there's
right?
no gate, if there's no
No,
gate,
if you don't have a front gate and the front gate doesn't have a lock on it or a sign on it,
yeah,
then the expectation is if the postman have to deliver letters, or you don't have a post box in front of your
hmm
door, you got to walk through the trail
And
or walk through your
delivered to your
fence or
door.
whatever to get to your
and
house. Yeah, because you got to understand, one of the things is we got to separate is the urban nature and the big city nature, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, urban nature and the suburban nature, because in fact, suburban have different standards of privacy
hell yeah.
since people live in different
mhm.
situations. So you got to think of where the place is first, because it could be in like two different states, but could have the same
Yeah.
metrics if it's two cities you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So
What up, Source Bean? How you, man? Long time, bro. Uh,
what's
Yeah.
going on? I'm good.
that's
I'm
what's
good.
up. But yeah, the add on to what you're saying, um, but okay. Granted that someone lived off the laws of the land, you know what I mean. If you live off the laws of the land, and
Right.
again, if you don't, your thing is not gated up and not properly signed, and and and,
Right. That means
and
you.
to go off what Moose was saying
Mhm.
as well, you not. I don't think a person gonna come off shooting at the person that's on their property. They may shoot off in the air, give off a warning sign before they act upon aggressive towards another person. You know what I mean? I would think that'd be common human being sense. Before you shoot at somebody, unless you.
Yeah, all laws are based on just natural shit. If you didn't set up a structure to indicate that this is private, period, no matter where you are, just because you don't want people
Mm-hmm.
to walk on what you believe is your territory, you didn't structure it
Mm-hmm.
to mimic, hey, this
Yeah.
is something that belongs to
Mm-hmm.
me, right? Back in the days, people would just take something as simple as three stones, right? You ever heard people say if you see a pathway and there's three stones on the side of it, don't go past the stones or whatever, right? You move the stones, then it's like, okay, you took energy out of yourself to move something,
I won't put that.
right? So it's like you are aware that you're trespassing somewhere because you know it took human hands to arrange these stones.
Okay, got it.
You
Yeah,
get
I
what I'm
got
saying?
definitely.
you.
So it's like if you didn't set up a structure, then you didn't create the psychosis of ownership.
And I say that.
So it's not presented
Mm-hmm.
to other people. So yeah, people do murder people under the auspices of like, oh yeah, you was walking on my property. There's a big history. Americans love to do that shit,
And and
Yeah.
which again defeats,
and,
which again
but
it bites them in the ass years after, because they get to create, the government get to use that to create laws once people start proving,
mm-hmm.
oh yeah, he's just murdering people for the hell of it, and just say he was walking on my land.
And I s-
It's a big,
and I
yeah.
say all of that
No. Time
to
out, Green Bay. Time out. This indiscretional psychopathic landowners is kind of reaching, if you ask me.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, you're allowed to protect whatever you have. It's uh,
Yeah.
now you won't find me living in Connecticut, because I would have to build a fucking fence around my place in order to have quote unquote privacy.
Yes.
And I would have to cage myself up. I'd
Yes.
have to cage myself up in order to own property, in order to have the already constitutional rights that I already have. You see, like, it sounds like in the state of Connecticut, the only way I would be able to protect my land is if I spend thousands and thousands of dollars, pardon me, excuse me, thousands and
Well,
thousands of dollars on a fence company to come in and put a fence around my fucking place, and with signs all over the fucking place, you know, and
that,
when
that
instead,
sounds fair, Ron. I mean, moves. That sounds fair, brother. You don't want nobody to,
Yeah,
just
why?
walk up
Okay,
on your
listen.
stuff and you know
Let me
what I
tell you
mean?
some
You go
bullshit.
to ban him?
but dude,
No,
Like in
brother.
New
if
Jersey,
I own like 10 acres, dude, that's a long fucking
No,
fence.
that's
That's
different.
$15,000,
And
$20,000 that I wouldn't have as a landowner.
Yeah, but if you own acres, if you own land and acreage in that amount, there's gonna be laws and shit that is already established. You're already gonna be living somewhere where the average person is not just walking through,
right,
and people shouldn't be accidentally walking through on your
Oh no,
land, right? So there's gonna be an expectation, and most likely the laws there would reflect your sentiment, right?
yeah,
But you can't apply that law to every terrain. That's
that's the
just not gonna.
Constitution,
It's not
bro.
gonna.
That's not.
That
okay,
kind of
Yeah,
No,
it
no, no,
is.
no, no. That's the Constitution. Yes, it
check
Anything.
this
is. It
scenario.
still is, but it's also you're not supposed to murder people.
Check
You're
this
not that.
scenario,
That's
Mo,
also
Yeah,
in the
and
Constitution.
yes.
everybody.
You're not supposed to
Look,
murder people. Yes, you have the right to
hey, let's say
life,
delete,
liberty, and
fellas.
life.
Let's say delete. I forgot. We got to say delete. Let's not use that M word. Let's say delete
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
or
let me give
erase.
you a
Erase,
scenario. Look,
delete.
But
look. Where I'm at in
yeah,
Jersey,
yeah.
right?
Unalive.
delete, erase. Yeah.
On
Okay.
private property, there on behind private property, there's a high school, and within that high school, you got the teenagers coming from the high school going through a trail. You know what I mean? That's in somebody's
Right.
backyard. Now there was a fence back there that the school put up there because the fence off the school for the people that lives in that area won't you'll be able to go there. But someone cut through there, probably kids, so they could go in and out through there, so they don't have to go around the school, the whole
Right.
school, because in New Jersey and everywhere else but New York, this big area, the school got a big, like 4 blocks for themselves, or maybe even 8 blocks to
Yeah.
themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, instead of going
And
around, they
delete
cut
for
through.
bro. Okay.
So now, I'm just saying, as a private property owner, if it was me in that property, and I just bought that property not knowing the situation that the kids cut through there, I will have to put a fence up there to stop the kids from doing that because they've been doing that for years. You understand? And
Right.
not
Or
saying
better yet, you go to the school and you have their custodian repair the fence or
yeah.
whatever, and
hmm
there's not a time cost out of your pocket.
Yeah, but then again, now the kids gonna continue on cutting that gate, or they gonna hop over, or they gonna create another opening, maybe
Yeah,
going to
and
a
then
Well,
neighbor.
it's
then
on.
you get the names of the kids
Hey,
and their parents, and you call it the parents and you say, "Hey, keep your fucking kid off my lawns," and the parent usually takes care of shit. If not, that's when you call the cops. And you say, "Look, man, there's an opening in the fence, and the school refuses to repair it. It's not my responsibility to make sure that these kids have a safe
Okay,
trail
that's
going through
civilized.
my fucking property
We
to get home."
civilized. This is what we would do. But you got crazy nut people out there that will have a property, got gun owners, and be like, you know what? I'm protecting my property. I called the cops
Yeah, but
three times already.
that's not gonna
Listen,
reflect.
hold on. I called the cops 3 times already. So now I'm gonna give off a warning shot and scare these kids now. You know what I mean? Now would that be right or wrong? You know what I mean? I don't think that would be right at all. But now
Well,
here's another scenario.
you load your shotgun up with salt shot. Okay,
It's
it's not like
non-lethal.
lead pellets or anything like that. It's salt.
It's non-lethal.
Yeah, dude, I've been
It
shot
just
by it.
hurts like a
Dude,
motherfucker.
dude, it stings like a motherfucker,
hmm
dude. I've been shot by it before, and I've been shot at by farmers. It's I grew up in the largest farming community in the United States out there in California in the Central Valley, and we used to go fucking around on farmers' property all the time. But
Yeah,
you play
you must
stupid
not to
games.
do that.
Yeah, you play stupid games, you can win stupid prizes. If you got your ass loaded up full of fucking this
Rock salt.
salt shot, rock salt. That's right, rock salt,
Oh, I
and
know.
it stings like a motherfucker. And guess what? You don't end up going on that guy's property anymore.
You
It's a
damn
very
sure won't.
barbaric. It's a barbaric way to learn property lines, but at the same time, at the end of the day, we knew what properties we could fuck around on and what properties we couldn't. Now, should something happen, and here's what's fucked up. The reason why people are so protective over their properties is if let's say, I own the property next to the school that Yellow was talking about, and the kids. Let's say I didn't say anything. I didn't mind one bit having these kids cross through my property and safely get home because it's fucking Stand By Me. I don't know what it is, but anyway, excuse me. And one of those kids trips, falls, hits his head on a fucking stone, and ends up dead. Who's responsible?
You'll be
I'm
responsible.
responsible
Yep.
because I'm supposed to regulate everybody on my property.
Yep.
So stay the fuck off my property because I don't want to be liable for some idiot walking across my property and fucking himself up and me being financially viable for it.
That's understandable. Yeah.
That's precisely why you have those laws.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. But the way Sean Paul, that's like crime and stuff. And no, he went straight through the entrance. He went through the front. He went as a guest would, as a normal person would. And that man came out when he saw who it was. He went and came out with his gun.
It sounds like he walked up there like he was invited, and he wasn't.
No, but okay. Let me actually move. If it was Channel 7 News, coming up there and trying to interview that cop,
that's the point I'm trying to make.
Cause they saw the news, like his door was open, like he wouldn't have came out with the gun. He probably wouldn't have came out spitting on nobody's face. So it's the person that came to his door that he felt threatened. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say he felt threatened. He felt like, oh shit, this nigga at my door. You know what I mean?
But not physically threatened because he knows that man is not gonna physically do anything to him.
Oh yeah,
it's not physically threatened.
Oh, there's no telling. Whoa! Time out. That's a leap. It's
not really a leap. Because that man had a cameraman with him. He wasn't there with a phone. He was there with a cameraman.
Dude, that guy could be at my doorstep. Hey, that guy could be at my doorstep to beat my ass. And he has got a camera.
Not with a news team.
Hold on a second. That guy could be knocking on my door to beat my ass, and he's got a cameraman just to film it, and then they'll put it on fucking Ward Star or some shit like that, man. I don't know what businesses that guys
get that.
I don't know what business guys got anybody who's got cameras or anybody who's got approaching me that I don't know. And
okay, here's the flip side. Here's the flip side, right? The flip side, because authority is authority, whether it's negative authority or positive authority. So what the flip side of this shit is that once you walk into somebody's property, you're at the mercy of whatever they want to. That's another thing. It's just that person now has to prove, hey, they didn't murder you in the process of you being invited into their space or uninvited, right? So whether you're invited or uninvited, you still are at the mercy of the person who's hosting you, right? So somebody could be hosting you as an uninvited guest as well. Like, hey, I have a yard space and I had a little trail in my yard to get to my door. You decided to walk there, even though I might have even told you verbally,
come in,
right? I even have an order of protection against you that says don't come in. But you still, if you could provide the case for it in the court matter, right? The burden's on you to say, hey man, there was a valid reason for me being there, despite all these other obstacles that maybe, the person said they didn't want me, because here's this pathway. I took that path to get to that person's door for whatever reason. But that's in court. But up to the point where you was there, you're already subjected to whatever that person. Now they have to prove that they just was taking honorable actions in their space. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't just arbitrarily. You can't arbitrarily unalive people on your property just because it's your property.
Yeah,
right.
I agree with that. Right. That's the only point we're trying to make.
So the court would probably separate that. You also
have to look at the outward details too. Sean Paul towered over that cop. You're looking at a situation where Sean Paul, I don't know if he hits the gym or not, or whatever. The scene right then and there is they're getting in each other's face, and the cop spits in his face.
It was only one aggressor.
No, but it was completely and totally disgusting behavior, if you ask me. If you want to regard the strictest behavior, now I'm going to behave on my property the way I want to behave. So if it means like spitting on fucking unwelcome guests, it means spitting on unwelcome guests.
Well, you know what? Go ahead, say what you got to say. Because I'm gonna play the video so we could just look at it and then we can form. I already formed my opinion. I seen it a million times. So let's just get to it. It's about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. About.
I don't care who you are. Right now. You spit in my face. Property. You're going to jail now. Look at this. Look at this. He spit in my face. You saw you're going to jail. It's all being recorded. I don't care. I know you don't care. Property. You don't face any consequences.
That big man is backing up. He's not moving forward.
It's not. It's just the biggest mistake you ever made. Look at the gun in his hair.
That man walking off with a gun is a Connecticut state trooper named Brian Fahey. The mistake, as you will see, was clearly his. Now, thanks to Fahey's lunatic actions and an apparent police cover-up, Fahey and his colleagues are facing a massive law.
Whatever channel produced this, TTY Sports, TYT Sports.
If Brian Fahey's name sounds familiar, it's because he has a history of deranged behavior.
I should get to work. Is that what you're telling me? If you're busy. Have a problem?
See, backed up. John Paul never gets physical.
Cameras on. Body cameras on. That's his body camera. I don't care. Right following that eruption a few years ago at Sean Paul Reyes, Long Island Audit, Reyes and other citizen journalists began investigating Fahey and turned up a string of controversies. The latest involves unexplained overtime pay.
And Sergeant Brian Fahey makes over $200,000 a year. Now get this.
Cop.
$75,000 of that $212,000 to be exact comes from overtime. $75,000.
Some people don't even make that a year.
It's a good question. Fahey works a 9-to-5 desk job after being blocked from patrol duties, allegedly because of his temper. Reyes did what any solid journalist would do. He tried to ask Fahey directly about the overtime story.
So as always, you always want to be on the lookout for any no trespassing signs, restricted area signs. I don't see why there would be in this neighborhood here, but we just want to ask some questions, see what's going on with this overtime allegation. Hopefully he answers us. It says here, the Faheys, looks like we're in the right spot. Again, there aren't any no trespassing signs. We're just coming in peace to ask some questions.
He should have just closed the door back, man. He should have just closed the door.
Camera set.
Once he saw it was him, he should have closed the door.
Facts.
Nah,
And call the
you run him off
police.
your property.
There is no posted sign. There's no problem. Do you have any? Let's go.
The let's go was from Reyes to his camera person.
Do you have any comment on the allegations that you are?
And he's backing up.
Do you have any comment on the allegations that you are receiving?
That's it.
Couldn't even
You
get
should
the
stay
question
home.
out. Ladies and gentlemen, he was so angry. Couldn't
Yeah. Every
He says that there's no trespassing.
So
sign.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna let the whole 3 minutes go.
He can assault me in broad daylight while receiving taxpayer money. But the minute an independent journalist comes to his home, and he's probably going to try and get me unlawfully arrested now. As you can see, I moved back his camera that says you are currently being recorded. Film this guy. You're crazy. What do you think I'm doing, you psycho? You have a weapon in your hand? What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't have
He's
any
calling
weapons.
him a psycho and he's asking him to shoot
What do you
him
think
at
I'm
that
doing, you
point.
psychopath?
He hopes he gets shot.
Get off my property right now. What do you think? Get off my property right now. I'm off your property. This is my property. Well, do you see me not moving? To the cul-de-sac. Calm down. Get off my property. Get that gun out. Get off my property.
See, now, instead of turning around and walking away, he's fucking facing him.
I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Get off my who you are. Right now. Spit in my face. Property right now. Going to jail now. Look at this. Look at this. He's spitting my face. You saw you're going to jail. I'm spitting as I'm talking to you. No, you spit in my face. Property. Spit in my face. Now. Spit in my face. Get off my property. You're going to jail now. I'm going. Get off my property. I've been going. Right. Since the moment you told me. Get off my property. Criminal trespass. Right. Now. Get off my property. You're right now. Look at the gun in his hand. Goddamn right. I'm a Connecticut. I don't give a shit who you are.
guy's a troll expert.
My man ain't scared for shit neither.
Online. No, get off my here right now.
He didn't even turn around and walk away. He's
I don't care.
He's still talking to him, trying to provoke him.
Yeah.
He's trying to provoke a swing out of him. He's trying to provoke a bullet out of him. just so he can get it on camera.
Nah,
That's
bro, you
provoking
don't walk
somebody
away
at
from a
their
person
own
that pulls
house,
out a
bro.
gun with you and already got aggressive thoughts in there, and you already know that he already got aggressive actions to him. Nah, you don't turn your back. You don't try to give nobody no space because he got to reach up
But
before for him to shoot the guy him right
if his
now. He
activities are
has to reach
lawful,
up and pull out the gun, and before you could pull that gun up, I'm gonna grab that gun from you.
Yeah, sure.
uh,
I
well,
think Brian Fahey went too far.
I
I'm sorry.
honestly, yeah, dude, the
Because he
guy
was
probably
leaving.
does. The guy does great work. He does great work at explaining what he's doing, how he's doing it, why he's doing it. He's got great momentum in this. And this incident here could set him back like there's no tomorrow.
No, you can't say that. If he's coming there, the independent reporter, bro. No, but if Channel 7 News goes there, that's not gonna happen.
Independent
News,
or
bro.
not, independent or not, reporters can't just show up at your fucking house, bro.
Yes, they could.
They can, bro. Yes, they can.
No,
yes,
they
they
can't.
could.
You don't show up at my house without permission.
Yeah,
bro.
he has an open pathway. He has an open pathway on public road access to his house.
Yeah,
John
that
Gotti
right there.
crib,
They can go to
everybody
his house.
crib, bro.
The man sat there and made sure there was
Yo,
signs. There were no
yo.
signs.
Yeah, but dude, if it's an open pathway,
First of all,
okay, go ahead.
hey, first of all, there's laws to protect people to come to your house apart from it being a private property. Why we know that? Because people used to attack postmen back in the days when shit started,
Yo, the
right?
South different from the
I don't know
North.
exactly what they are, but I know that you can't just attack people just because they show up to your front door. There has to be some kind of reasonable expectation.
Postmen
right?
are federally protected individuals because of that. You need
So are people. So are regular citizens. So are citizens. That's why you can't just attack people that walk up to your door. So are citizens.
Yeah, you can.
It's not.
Dude.
It's not this.
Yes,
this whole idea of
you can attack anybody at your door, bro. If you show up,
I mean, you could. You virtually could. I'm not arguing that you can't. You virtually could. What I'm saying is
all kinds of hell, asking me all kinds of questions when you could have called me and said, "Hey, let's set up an interview. You would sit down. I'll sit down."
But liability is a motherfucker.
We'll smash this out, and we can have an interview.
You could kill somebody because they show up at your house. Maybe you might beat.
You don't eliminate.
Maybe you might beat the murder charge, but you still gonna be liable.
Eliminate, erase. Eliminate, erase.
There could have been plenty of neutral public places where they could have met.
Delete, eliminate, erase.
There are plenty of public places that these two could have met and had an interview, but instead, Mr. Sean Paul decided that he would have taken upon himself to show up at this guy's house, unannounced, by the way. So, like, there are ways of doing
things. First Amendment right.
Huh?
He has a First Amendment right. It's freedom of press. He has a First Amendment right.
Does not negate your right to protect your property, your family, your loved ones.
I'm
to be like, hey,
okay, you have a right to protect. You don't have a right to protect for just the delete. You know what I mean? You got a right to protect your property for a reason. You know what I mean? You can't be an aggressor, and he was the aggressive there, bro. Like, and then okay. As we watched the whole video, saw him getting arrested, and we also heard that what the allegation was. There was trespassing signs there, which he clearly showed that it wasn't. You know what I mean?
It wasn't.
So it's like it's a cover up. If you had the right to do that, then the cover up wouldn't be there. It would be automatic, substantial, agree on both.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I understand what you're saying too. As an individual, you feel you got the right to protect your family and someone threatening your house, but that's not a threat. That's an independent. You got feelings now. You got to separate feelings from facts.
It's like.
Wait, now hold on. Let me say one thing.
Right, some people feel like I should be able to get away with murder because it's my fucking property and you're standing on it. In that case, I could just invite you over just to have an argument with you so I can kill you and get away with it. And that's why there's more.
Eliminate, erase.
Oh, sorry. Delete, eliminate, erase. Yo, my bad, bro. I can't help. See, this is why I'm not on the internet anymore.
Well, the thing is this, dude. I don't. Sean Paul, you
just want to kill somebody in your yard.
eliminate.
No, just
Delete.
don't show up at my fucking place unannounced. Is what. That's
No,
all
no,
I
hold on,
ask.
Moves.
No,
You know,
hey, I
I
completely.
know the people. I know the people that I want to interact with in life. I know exactly
But
who
hold
they
on,
Yeah.
are.
Moves.
I
But hold
don't.
on, Moves. Let
I'm
me
not
hit you in the
soliciting.
head real
I'm
quick.
not soliciting.
Let me hit you in the head real quick,
All right.
Moves. One time. All right, cool. I'm a strange man. I done ventured onto your property through the front. I didn't do anything nefarious at all. Now I want a cup of water,
Yep.
whatever. You open the door and say, hey, get the away from my property before I delete, eliminate, or erase you. I start walking away, and I'm walking. I'm really walking. I'm moving at a good pace. I'm out of here. Would you
Yeah.
continue? Would you follow me? Come and then throw your gun at me and try to
No, it
intimidate me?
depends. Hey,
I'm
dude,
already leaving your property, brother.
if Jackie, if you came onto my property, first off, you'd be
No,
welcome.
not me. I'm a
And
stranger now,
second off,
brother.
but if you're a stranger, like you said, it all depends on the situation.
But I'm walking away.
Like if I get, if I open up my door and say, "Hey,
get away
what the
from my
fuck are you
property.
doing here?" No. What the fuck are you doing here?
Right.
Is what I asked. What's your business here?
Cool.
All right.
Now, whatever I'm
If
saying,
the guy gives me no response and he doesn't say anything, he just looks up and keeps on kind of meandering around in my property. Guess what? I'm going right for my fucking gun. Sorry, the guy. I've already announced my presence. I've already let him know that hey, what the fuck are you doing? Instead of, hi,
but okay, you went
my
to
name
get your
is
gun. He
Moves.
starts walking away.
No. Instead of saying hi, my name is Moves. Welcome to my property, this paradise that I've worked so hard to fucking keep around me. What can I do for you? No, I stepped out of my door and said, "What the fuck are you doing?" So that already established my presence right then and there. You know, anybody
Look,
that is your average Joe is going to understand. Oh, look, I might have fucked up.
But no, my whole point is the person walking
But the thing
away.
is that if the guy tells me, oh hey, and he puts his hands up and he's like, hey, I didn't know it was your property. I was just on a walk. I was trying to figure something out, and I had a lot of shit on my head. Hey, buddy, I understand. Just do your contemplation on somebody else's property. Thank you very much. And that's the end of the situation.
No, so what if it happens to? All right, if that happened to you, you're Detective Fahey. Were you going out because he went out bad moves? Because Sean Paul was already leaving. If I'm already
after the
leaving, why
man
would
If I
told
already
him to leave.
recognize the guy, if I'm this cop and I've already seen the videos that this guy's done, and all of a sudden he's at my fucking door, and I'm being investigated for overtime that I fucking spent.
Feelings.
Well, I can
Feelings.
explain
Get the
overtime.
canceler.
I can explain the overtime, fellas.
Feelings.
All right? The overtime that this cat keeps on talking
Get to the
about.
canceler.
No. The overtime this guy keeps on talking about, Sean Paul keeps on talking about. Do you guys know how many hours a shift that a cop works?
But you're an 8-hour
It's 12 to
desk
20.
cop. He's not on the beat. Remember, he lost his beat job.
It's 12 to 24-hour shifts, guys.
But he's not a beat
They're
cop.
12 to 24.
He's not sitting at a desk for that much hours.
Listen, anything. No, listen. They work 12 to 24-hour shifts.
No, they can, but he's not a beat walker.
No, not can. They do.
No, I get that part. That's why they get paid a lot.
I don't think you're hearing that
But
part
he's
right
an
there.
8-hour desk cop.
That's what he not. That's not. You're not equating that part that he's not. He's sitting on the fucking desk. You're not doing that for 12 hours, bro.
That's what I'm
12 hours.
Desk cop. It's something to. All right.
Overtime,
But hold
bro.
up.
Okay.
$75,000 worth of
Now,
overtime.
this is how I know.
When you make fucking.
But keep it.
When you make like what $40-$60 an hour at fucking.
But how much
time and a half?
How long can you sit at that 212,000? 212,000.
Okay.
You
Let's
got
ask this
on your
question.
ass.
First off, how long has he been on the desk?
Since they proved that he was inefficient in doing his work with arresting people because he's a loose cannon. Moves. You're doing
Okay, loose cannon or not? No, loose cannon or not? That didn't answer my question. My question was, how long was he riding the desk?
I don't know. I don't know how many years for sure. Hold up. I'm sure.
How many years, or has it been like 5 months?
No, it wasn't months. It was years. It was years.
So he is getting
He should
paid
be
at
a
the desk.
lieutenant by now. Like
All right.
his play on the streets stopped his whole career because at his
Yeah.
age, he should be a lieutenant or more by now, like high grade lieutenant. And then I'm gonna throw this in there too. This whole
Yeah.
situation being on camera because we can see it. He retired. That man wasn't ready to retire. He retired. He took the stuff and
No,
went
this guy
out.
was already on his way. Like you said, like I'm not going to defend a corrupt cop. Don't get me fucking wrong, you know. But a person, whether it's this dirty cop or not, has a right to protect their fucking property. But at the same time, and now I don't know Connecticut laws, and thank God I live in Kentucky. Jesus, man, I would lose my shit if somebody come wander around. Yeah, I can wander around here and ask you a bunch of fucking questions. No, you can fuck right off.
But
Now,
Fuck
see,
right off in 5 different
now
ways.
we're gonna
And
enlighten folks real quick. See, in Kentucky, Georgia, the South, they have these folks are not playing with you. You can hear how it
no,
moves, and I knew that before I came down here. Do not cross people's. That's just a fact, though. But in the South, in Kentucky, places like Kentucky, Georgia, the Midwest, whatever. When you have private property, it's private property, and you know growing up there, that's why they don't. That's why these states don't like new people because you come in with small shit,
no, and it's not just
and you know these guys
it's not
are
just that, Uncle Jackie. It's not just that. They bust their fucking balls
yeah, I know.
to keep that shit.
Or it
They
might be a
bust their
family
fucking
thing passed
balls.
down
I'm
from
talking
generation to generation.
60 to 100-hour work weeks, doing favors for people that
They don't even like.
that really need it. Yeah, man. I mean, it's like
Oh no,
that's all.
I
Like,
understand it because my mom from the South. I heard stories. I know these things. I already know, but a lot of people don't
yeah,
know. They don't
but
know.
what you mean
yeah.
busting balls for what?
For the land that they keep and the land that they till or farm or fucking, it could be just a little slice of heaven. It could be like 5 acres or 9 acres, which sounds like a lot to some.
Let's not be. We talk about that. That we talk about that land is legally not theirs, and you talk about that bullshit. You know what I mean? That slave. We go back down to what we deserve as a black people. You know what I mean? But we not. That's a different story or here or there. But I understand what you're saying. But they didn't get that
No, we got
because
black landowners
they
here
got
too, man. Well, wait,
they got that.
time out. Well, wait, hold on. There are black owners, black landowners here too. There are black club
But
owners and
that's very limited now
fucking
compared to what it was before, bro. When we had our own community and it was burnt down, you understand that, and they get put underwater down in the deep south. So I mean, like I said, that's a
yeah, but
different
at the
story.
same
And we
yeah,
could
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. I
we
mean,
could direct,
hey, I'm not gonna say that what happened to that
but
community
I understand.
what was good in any way, shape, or form. Okay, first off, I just want to know, let
Mhm.
everybody know that was a fucking tragedy and it shouldn't have happened. But at the same time, when we reflect back on history and we do look at like horrible shit, it's also our duty to look at how things have come along since then. And is there a strictly black like community like the Black Wall Street in Tulsa? It was Tulsa,
Right. It
Oklahoma,
was
wasn't it?
Tulsa,
Mhm.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that like I said, it was fucking horrible. But at the same time, white folks used to dominate sports. White folks used to dominate music.
They
White
not
folks used to
dominated.
dominate,
They was the
and
only.
they don't
They never
anymore.
dominated. They were the only race allowed to do to participate in sports. You know what I mean? And they didn't want to. They didn't want to mingle with us because they knew we dominated it. You
Dude,
understand? So you
it's
can't
been like
say that.
it's been
But
almost,
like I said,
but it's been almost a
but listen,
wait,
listen,
whoa,
listen,
time
listen.
out. It's been like
Yeah.
But when I
it's
come,
been like 100 years. It's been like 100 years since Jackie
No, but
Robinson, bro.
listen. Like I said, we could. This is a different. This is a whole different story. But I understand what you're saying about the laws of the land, and I take that to Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. You understand how he got away with killing that young boy. You know what I mean,
delete,
or deleting the
eliminate,
young,
right.
deleting the young individual. You understand? So my bad.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because the laws of the land allowed that man to have the private property rights of his of his
He
home.
wasn't on
You
his
understand?
property. He was in his neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah, he was
Oh,
doing
you talking
some
about what's the
neighborhood
name?
watch shit, right?
You talking about Zimmerman? No,
Yeah,
you talking
Zimmerman.
about what's the name on the
Yeah,
property?
I'm talking about Zimmerman. Zimmerman
Zimmerman was doing
followed
a
him home, followed him around because he thought he was a threat inside his community.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
some. That was something different. But
That was some
But
bullshit,
hold on,
straight
I'm
up.
I'm gonna say this because I don't like playing the racial thing, but sometimes it's true. Now we talking about Groton,
Yeah,
Connecticut. I've never heard of Groton, Connecticut, and it's right next to us. Y'all know that? That's the tri-state area: Connecticut, New York, New
yep.
Jersey. If people don't know,
Hmm.
I've never heard of Groton, which means he went to a small town. That's why I told. That's why I suggest go to the. But you got to have a lot of people with you to make sure you don't get deleted, erased, eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got to have a lot of people with you when you go to these sundown type towns or them towns where the 98% of the population is one race. You have to think about this now. Think about what I'm saying. And like I said, with wrong tradition,
Yeah.
like people who are traditional in the wrong way, you don't want that brown man, Sean Paul Reyes, in there poking around. And this is how bad it got. The video I'm gonna play now. This is the one that's 3 minutes and 21 seconds, and it shows what happens. Like that dude retired, and Broughton got his back.
Well,
Fine, thank you.
Fine, well, what was your name again?
My badge number is 123.
Yeah, what was your name?
I gave you my badge number.
Oh, hold on. That's the end. 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 That's the end.
And we also want to talk to the chief of police here to find out why Groton police officers. We want to get the other side of the story here.
Hold on. Let me say this real quick before I continue the video. They rallied around that man, Sean Paul Reyes, and they went to their town hall. And I might have it. I hope I have it. Usually at the town hall, each person gets 5 minutes to speak. They sat there and chopped
oh
it
yeah,
down
yeah.
to
That
2
one was,
minutes. They chopped it down
yeah,
to
they chopped him
2
down.
minutes. That's what I'm saying. That's why I already seen everything. That's why I'm trying to, what I mean, I'm talking to you guys and I already know what's going on. So it's kind of not fair, but it's like, man, this dude Sean Paul is good, man. That, like I said at the beginning of the show, Sean Paul Reyes is the most professional auditor that there is. He's the most when I say professional, I know what a professional is. He is the most professional auditor that there is. Now, here's the video.
My Groton police officers charged Long Island Audit, and we forensically studied the video. And
My fault. Sean Paul Reyes went to jail that day, not Brian Fahey. Sean Paul Reyes and his cameraman went to jail that day.
And we didn't see any crimes at all that Sean and his videographer did, but we saw crimes on the other side. And so we wanted to talk to ideally the chief of police, and so we can get his side of the story and get the thinking, like deep inside the cellular structure of the DNA.
Okay. You're looking to speak with the chief now?
Yes.
Okay. He's not here now.
Is there any supervisor available?
I can check, but right now, the most that we are able to do is really just send you guys in the direction of the state's attorney's office. We have sent all of the information that we have, body cam, video, everything that we've done for the investigation, we've put together, and they are now handling the case. So there's really not a lot besides that I'm able to provide for you guys.
All right. Thank you for sharing that.
Can you stop it for a
We
second?
can't see you. Can you turn the lights on?
Can you pause it for a second, Jackie? Back that up when he goes to ask that woman a question. This guy's a dipshit. All right, just back it up when he goes to ask the woman a question.
Go
back
back
about.
I'm gonna go back 30 seconds.
Yeah, please.
The bullhead guy is
I
really an
appreciate
asshole.
that.
I don't like his ass, to be honest with you.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, this guy's a dipshit.
I'm going.
You're looking to speak with the chief now?
Yes.
Okay. He's not here now.
All right.
Is there any supervisor available?
I can check,
Pause
but
it real
right
quick.
now,
What happened?
Well, the question he asked the woman, he goes, we've viewed our own. We've looked at our own videos forensically, and I don't recognize this guy as any kind of forensic specialist, but he said he looked at it forensically. He's using a lot of words that aren't making any sense. So we want him to come out here so we can get his side of the things, and we want to get into the cellular structure and the DNA of the situation or some shit like that. Watch, hit play. This guy, like I said, he's a moron.
Most that we are able to do is really just send you guys in the direction of the state's attorney's office. You know, we have sent all of the information that we have, both body cam, video, everything that we've done for the investigation, we've put together, and they are now handling the case. So there's really not a lot besides that I'm able to provide.
So he gets his answer, and this
Thank you for sharing that information. Again, we can't see you. Can you turn the lights on?
They're actually on in here.
It looks like an OnlyFans room. And
Sorry.
what an asshole.
That's true. You can't see through it. They have that glass that
can you put the
can't see
petition
through it at
in the
all.
chat now? We got over 1,200 people.
You can't see who she is.
And everyone's fit in there. And please keep smashing the like button.
And these are people speaking on behalf of Sean Paul.
Again, this is really strange.
Sorry, it's just the way it's sent.
Sure, can we have your name, please?
Sure, it's my badge number is 123.
143,
And what's your name?
My badge number is 123.
But your mama gave
There it
you.
is.
We love
Okay.
that too.
Yeah, that's all right. Listen, I'm not interested in doing the interviews, but I can pass you along to the state's attorney's office.
All right, well,
I'm not
Supposed to identify yourself, name and badge number.
I'm just coming here as a human,
I understand.
and that's why, you know, I heard everything about sending things to the state attorney general, et cetera, but I want to talk human to human. Is why did the Grand Police? This is a beautiful small town. This is one of my favorite places. I know you have the sub base here, and I've got friends who have lived here, and just, you know, human to human, man to man, man to woman. I want to know, you know, what was they thinking? You know, and not going through double speak about, oh, there's an investigation ongoing. Like, they saw the video that Long Island audit, I understand, showed the officers. But who can facilitate that?
More quickly to deal with.
Can you get someone? Can you get a supervisor to help to facilitate that, or just come out from behind the glass and just talk to us? That's all we want. Oh, you have a public information officer, of course.
I'm sorry?
You have a public information officer we can speak with.
That is Deputy Chief Gately, and he is not here at the moment.
Can you ask him to come? We'll supply pizza,
Thank you. I appreciate the offer.
pepperoni, and pineapple.
It is very enticing, but I'm going to have to decline. Thank you.
All right. Well, what's your name again?
My badge number is 123.
Yeah, but what was your name?
I gave you my badge number.
No, I know, but aren't you? Isn't your policy to give your name?
My policy is that I need to identify myself. So
But
my badge number is 123.
But that's not a. All right. Thank you for the Oprah request. We'll be Oprah requesting your name and your salary.
All right, pause it. Pause it for a second.
1, 2, 3.
All right,
it's finished anyway.
He's gonna ask her. He's gonna ask her name, so she can say her full name on a podcast that's got 2,000, 3,000 people watching, and she's not gonna get doxxed.
But you can do it anyway. You know it's the Grand Police Department. Her badge 123. You can do it anyway.
Okay, so where does her privacy? Let me.
But she's a public
where's her
servant.
privacy?
She's a public
Wait,
servant.
hold on a second. She's got a right to privacy. Where does her privacy stop and start?
At home and at home.
Not while you on duty.
Her privacy stops at home when she's off the books.
That's it. That's it. You're a
When
public
she's like
servant.
off the clock.
So
Literally a
we're
public
allowed to
servant.
know her home.
Also, she's
We're
at
allowed to know her
the.
home.
She's also at the information window where her identity is hidden, which really shouldn't be. That already shouldn't have been the case.
But
Yeah,
that's
but
They
if
should have had.
I'm on the other side of that window, hey, hold on a second. If I'm on the other side of that window and I got to deliver,
Let me ask you a question.
if I'm on the
Hold
other
on, one
side
at
of
a
that
time,
window and I
please.
got
One at a
to,
time. One at a time, please.
yeah, if I'm on the other side of that window and I got to deliver some bad news to somebody, do I want them knocking on my fucking door?
If you go,
That's on them if they want to break the law later on after the news, but it's not for you to sit there and deny people access to information that they should have.
It's like
And
going to the
also,
court.
being identifiable doesn't just mean a name and a fucking badge number or a badge number with a
And
number
you don't
attached
even
to a
see the
name in a
badge
system
to
somewhere.
know that
It
that's
also
supposed to
means
give you the
seeing
right
your
number or
face.
anything like that. You understand what I'm saying?
That's why a lot of court proceedings in the past 5 years ain't even legal. People don't even know that because motherfuckers had their identity. Your identity is also your face. So if people can't see your face and match your face with something in the process of
But it's like
identifying you,
going
that's
to
not a
court
real
and the
identity.
court and the judge asking you, or even not even the judge, you're not even going too far at the court. It's like you calling the supervisor, making a complaint. Who did you speak to? Well, I spoke to badge 123. And then you come to find out badge.
Yeah, anybody
Hold
could
on.
say they're
Come to
badge one,
find
two,
out
three.
badge 123 is a male. You understand? Did you get a name? No, I didn't get a name. Why you didn't get a name? Because the person didn't provide a name. Why the person? Oh, that's where the person didn't provide a name. They're supposed to provide a name. You know, like
But
now you stuck in the
Mm-hmm.
railroad
no,
right now, roadblocks, and you,
And you should be able to
yeah.
see their faces
exactly.
because this is not policing on the street in the comments of a crime. They're not holding somebody in detention to, or with a warrant for some kind of exuberant crime or some shit. This is an office, the office of law enforcement, where you go, and that's where you go to the window to ask questions and inquire to get access to public information
And this
They
way,
don't want you to have.
or to
It's called
inquire
FOIA.
about things going
Those,
on.
those are called FOIA requests, like
mm-hmm,
Freedom of Information Act. So
Mm-hmm.
yep,
you can sit there and it's not doxing. You signed up to be a public servant.
yep.
So if I sit there and look
Yeah, but
at
I
your
don't think
badge
it gives
number,
up your right to.
and
I don't think
luckily
it gives up
he had
your
a
right to
camera
privacy.
because they can track
Another,
down who she is
that's another
easily.
thing too.
Because all they got to
Is
do is
their word
what
against your
time was
word.
I shooting her? What time was
Well,
I
you know the thing of this,
video
this
playing?
word,
They'll find out
this
what was.
word, I don't. Wait, hold on a second. Like let's say you're a cop in an urban environment, and you've got all kinds of crazies to deal with. Like when we look at each other, when Uncle Jackie, Source Bing, Yellow Tape moves, we look at ourselves in the mirror. We're not looking at criminals. We're not looking at, oh, you know what? My head doesn't pop off the pillow saying, I'm going to unalive a cop today.
Right. Thank you.
That being said, like at what point, if a cop has got to deal with this this type that is always out for his blood, that
Now,
they
Hey, in reality, nobody gets up and
yeah, they do.
goes out for cops' blood.
Yeah,
Most
they
cops that
do.
are wait,
I
no,
do.
no,
I
no,
live in the
no, no,
South
no.
Bronx. I live
Most
in
cops
fucking
one at a
that
time,
get
one at a
I
time.
live
oh
in
my
fucking
god,
dude. I kid you not. I used to sit on block.
yeah, I get all that. I live there
Yeah,
too. I lived in
I used
those
to sit
places
on a
too.
block
What I'm saying is,
with guys just talking about all day, talking about unaliving cops.
yeah, those that's called shit talking. Them niggas is
Yeah,
not
but did
serious.
the cop
I
know
did
it?
it too.
Okay.
Especially when you see when you're a cop.
But my
Does the
point is,
cop know?
here's my
Does the cop
okay,
know
But
but
let me
that?
finish this
all
point.
that
You do your
aside, no,
point
no.
because I got a point to make
Listen,
myself.
The cop's position and his fears and shit, that's not my fucking business. He on a job, right? And he is a servant of the public. Now, the people who's just being alive, going to and fro,
Yeah,
right? Their moods and maladies, it's not supposed to be something that causes the cop, well, I should hide my identity. Because once you're hiding your identity, you're a fucking warrior from some kind of army somewhere that ain't got nothing to do with what the fuck we got doing here because you're
They
hiding your
call it a
identity,
Nazi.
right? So this idea that a cop should come into my town like a ninja, not smile, not show his face, that's inhumane bullshit, man. So anybody who support that kind of nonsense, they support invaders coming into your land and fucking you over because it's a job or some stupid shit like that. If you're gonna be a servant of the people, be of the people. You can't be covering your face and hiding your
That
name and because people might gang up and dox me. If doxing exists, then there's other laws, right? Is it illegal for somebody to track you down on the internet? No, but it's illegal when they track you down on the internet, use the information, come to your house, just
yeah.
like
That's
anything
Mm-hmm.
the
else.
problem though.
I could get your address or
But
your
that's
phone number.
whoa,
I
whoa.
could call you. It's not illegal to call
That's
you
the issue.
once and say, "Hey,
That's
how
the
you doing?"
issue though. That's
I'm
the
talking. I
issue
would.
though. It's like
Well,
at what point?
hold on, Moves.
Hey, dude, at
Hold on,
what
Moves.
point do you? At
Uncle
what
Jackie,
point?
go ahead.
Okay,
At
but
what point
because
do you protect?
if
Hey,
people punch you
at
in your
what
face
point
because
do
you're a
you?
cop,
At
that
what
still
point
doesn't mean
do you protect those that will protect you?
But
we already have
but hold
protections
on.
for them. It's called
Everybody
yeah,
got a
immunity.
point to make.
community. Yeah.
Not every
Uncle
cop has
Jackie.
immunity. Not
I
every
want
cop.
Uncle Jackie to make his
You
point.
But
say
you
that.
can only have
You say that 'cause,
immunity,
hey,
right?
you say that.
Immunity comes with a high
Yeah,
price. You can't be
yeah. It
immune. You
comes with
can't
a
be an
high
immune
price.
ninja.
You can
You
straight
got
up
to
say
be
that to
seen.
Jason Ellis and his family. I actually can't say it to Jason Ellis because he was gunned down.
Listen,
Yeah,
Moves.
dude.
You
Yeah, I
said
mean,
you
these
the first
people
Okay,
thing
have
that you
these
but
said.
people got families
but
too. And
One
these
at a
First thing
people
that you
time.
also
said, Moves.
these
One at a
yeah,
people
time.
also
You
deserve protection when it comes down to whistleblowing. And that's what
but you know,
that's what
I'm gonna tell
Officer
you
Ellis
something,
was.
bro. Moose, I'm gonna tell you something. you don't realize some of your sentiments dehumanizes people and
No, it
empowers the
doesn't.
state.
In any way, shape, or form. I
Because
value human
yes,
beings.
it does.
Dude, it's to say it's just that.
Yeah, but that's just because you're talking with us.
Exactly. That's what I'm
But
about to say.
what I'm saying is, an extension of me, is the people in the street that a cop has to
Exactly.
patrol. So, and it's more closer to that than because I'm paying. He's taking bits and pieces of my paycheck,
Yeah.
right, or energy, right. The expectation is we're paying you, so now your psychosis has to be above and beyond just regular uh citizen. You're now a statesman employed by us, empowered by us to find people breaking the law, not hide your identity and worry about your safety
Yeah,
to an extreme where you actually now become an
but when the
invading
people who
force.
break the law will go to your doorstep and blow your face off, that's where you have to be careful.
Who does
At
that?
what point,
Not too
dude?
many does that.
The
Not
mafia
too
did
many
it.
does
The
that.
mafia did it the whole time in the '60s, bro. How many
Who-
cops did the mob kill? How many cops did the fucking Russian mob?
Eliminate.
Unalive,
Eliminate.
unalive. How,
Move.
Right.
let's
Okay.
go through the
Okay. Move.
mob.
So you
Okay,
made your
but
Hold
let's
point.
on,
You
be
made
hold
your
on,
honest
point.
hold
But
on,
here.
can
hold
Let's
on,
be
hold on.
honest here. If back in the days, hello,
we go.
moves, no,
Let's
because
go through
again,
the
you
Look.
still
One at
using
a time, fellas.
you're
Let's
using
go through the
Moves.
mediums.
You
hotel.
said.
Let's go
Can
through
I
the
say something,
Pat,
housing
y'all?
yo,
mob.
listen,
Look.
Let's
listen.
The
let's go
first
through
thing
the
Let
Move
y'all
Italian
said
talk.
mob.
was.
Okay,
The
Let's
first
okay,
go
thing
hold
through the
Listen.
up.
Move
black
said was.
mob. Let's go through the fucking Jewish mob. Let's go through the Italian mob, the Japanese mob,
Okay,
the Chinese mob, the Russian mob.
can
How
I tell
many
you
of those
something though? Can
how
I
many of those
explain something
mobs?
to you?
How many
Wait,
cops?
let him talk. Let
Yo,
him talk. Let him
listen,
talk.
hey,
Let
hey,
him
hey,
talk,
hey.
Sauce. Let him
Okay,
Yeah, but
talk.
moves.
how many cops have those mobs killed alone? Let alone the disorganized crimes that have killed cops.
How many
All
was at
right.
the house
I
We're
mean,
gonna
how
go
many
Okay,
around the
yesterday that
already,
was
horn.
working
We're
for
bro?
gonna
you?
go around the horn.
most
You're trying to
Doc.
say
if
that
okay,
you're trying to
organized
say that being a
crimes.
cop is like jumping rope all day, chewing bubble gum. No, it's
No,
not,
but
man.
but you take
Dealing
on
with
that
the worst
responsibility
people in the
as
world.
being a cop,
Yeah,
bro.
they're dealing with the worst people in the world, bro.
Yo,
No, they
Yo,
not.
no, you're
hold
not
on.
dealing
Yes,
with the
you
worst people in
are.
the world. You're
You're
dealing with the
dealing with
public.
the fucking lawbreakers, bro. It's not
No,
just the
Wow,
public.
Wait.
Your job is
no.
to
Hold
find the
on. Time
lawbreakers.
out,
wow.
fellas.
Now I
It's
Fellas.
understand
real.
something about
Fellas.
law
And
enforcement.
Fellas. We're
the
gonna go around the
lawbreakers are
horn.
not fun people.
We're
The
I
gonna
get
go
it.
around the
lawbreakers,
horn, fellas.
yeah, but the
Fellas.
lawbreakers are not fun people. That's the whole fucking point of it. Us as civilians, we don't see them dealing with that shit. All we see is them dealing with us.
Everybody breaks the law,
Yeah,
bro. It's
No,
just
I
a
break
matter of
the
if
law.
somebody's
Okay,
observing
I'm
you.
next.
So that whole us as
Oh, dude,
civilians
no, this
nonsense,
everybody breaks
it's
the law
whatever, man.
shit is bullshit. I follow
I'm
the
next.
law, which is why I don't
It is
remember.
not bullshit. There's a law for everything you do in this
either break the
country,
law
and some
or an
of it is
ordinance is
illegal. We
broken.
get it.
Either a law or an ordinance. It happens. Now, hold on now. I want to go around the horn because I still want to maintain some kind of order.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, all right, moves. All right, you made points now, Doc. You trying to speak, but you can't. And after Doc go,
Sorry, dog.
then Source being you make your piece, and then I'm gonna make my piece, and then let's just try to maintain. Or I know we're gonna end up eventually going back and forth with each other to try to and I know it's no disrespect intended,
Yeah,
but
fact.
Oh,
just
no,
for the
never.
show's sake, I'm gonna always try to maintain a order. Moves has
Fact.
spoken. He had the floor for about, he had the floor. So I want to move it to Doc a little bit. Now answer if you have something for moves or your own thing. Boom. Then so if you have something
No,
for Doc or if you have something for moves, bam, go ahead.
All right.
okay. This to go to the first thing that Move said. Move said to him, himself, me, Uncle Jackie, and Source Bean, we are not a threat. You understand? To the cops. The cops don't see that. You understand? And they see a vision. Who they go out there and look for is a person of my characteristic, my shade, and my way I walk and I talk. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a threat to them by just walking out in the street. You understand? And depending on who's in office at the time, given time, if it's stop and frisk that I had to deal with, I'm watching cops do investigations, and I'm getting harassed for them because I'm watching them do their jobs, but they feel that I shouldn't be in their circle or shouldn't be watching what they're doing, whether they're doing it correctly or incorrectly. You understand? I feel as a cop, you sign up for certain threats to be that you're gonna have to deal with because this is your job.
Mm-hmm.
As you said,
Mm-hmm.
moves that they dealing with criminals, and that's not what they deal with when they sign up for the job. But they come across criminals. Their thing is to serve the public, protect the public, and they don't really prevent crimes. They get they detain people after the crime is committed
And reported.
and report it and send it to the next jurisdiction. You understand? So again, our way of or how we look at things in life and how we deal with things in life and in general is two different ways. You understand? And yes, you may have been in the same area I've been at. You may have dealt with the same things that I dealt with as well. You understand?
Yeah.
Because you've been in the circumference of other individuals. You understand? Or you may fit the description, like they tell me all the time. But my life, it could be very likely to compare to someone else that out there do commit crimes and be harassed by cops because they have committed one or two crimes, whether drugs, whether gun charge, whether and these people have to do. Not saying it is right what they do, but they have to do things
Yo,
because they have to live life. You understand? They have to make money. They have to provide for their family. They have to protect their family. You understand? So the jungle where I come from, and a lot of my people that's on this panel, you understand, is very deep, and we deeply scarred by the police. And it could go back to several years where how police was founded. You understand? As being again slave catchers. You understand? So the mentality of the police department is not, and generally to be in good community or good faith with African American communities, because African Americans is the ones who committing the crimes.
Yeah, there's
Now,
always going to be a disconnect with police and the people. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
and now we're going to
That's a horrible
deleting
truth.
police. You understand? You talk about mob bosses. You talking about people that's in enterprises crime. You understand? Where cops very really go after, and when they go after them, that's when that upgrade of deletion or upgrade of police being deleted. I mean the count of cops being deleted is being reached to a higher point. And as far as the African American community, again, our crime is impulse. Our crime is let me go commit a robbery. And then when that occur, cops come and intervene there, and then now there's a shootout and then deletion there. You understand? So there's different ways, and not saying it is right or wrong, but the concept of saying that that cops are being hunted is different. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's not in that aspect.
it's
And
that's.
good.
Go ahead, Al. I mean, excuse
Oh,
me.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yo, I'm the reason why I took the camera off because I'm gonna put my face on this particular thing, right? Because
Yeah.
um yeah, this idea that cops is being hunted and even promoting that idea as a person to other people, to me, is appalling. Like I'm disgusted that anybody would even share that as an ideology with anybody else. I'm gonna tell you why, is because that's state ideology, first of all. Because who the fuck am I? I live in these places these cops gotta go to, and I made it to 40. There's little kids living in these places. So these little kids are braver than cops. You know what I'm saying? The old lady down the street is braver than cops. So these are war zones, and the cops come in there like
Hmm.
heroes, and we have to make all these extra amendments to the Constitution that take away power from the people, so these fucking cops can be safe. We got to damn near put these niggas in, I mean, these dudes in a bubble
Hmm.
and pad them up and then give them a tank so they could go and initiate an arrest warrant for a ticket or something. I mean, come on, man. It's idiotic to even have that mindset and even want to be a cop. Like like I'm gonna go and be a cop, but my main worry is that people are targeting me so much that I'm gonna violate the Constitution and deny people information that they should have access to. If I have the power to ruin your life, press you down on the ground and have immunity before the courts even intervene, before a due process, then you're damn right I should be able to know your face, have access to your face, and know your name. Period. And anybody should be able to access that. I mean, just don't be a cop. And the other thing that Moose was saying, cops get deleted by mafias and all that. To me, that's because they was integrated with them. They were in the business together. So mafias don't target people arbitrarily. You see what I'm saying? So you were in the business with them and you got killed. Maybe some cop now who's trigger happy used that story as ammunition to support this logic of, yeah, we should be able to put on ninja masks, kicking your door. I don't even believe cops should be allowed to kick in somebody's door to effect a warrant, period, because a child could be sitting behind the door. There's children living in houses.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
So just because you're going for drugs don't mean you should be able to fly through with a helicopter, have dudes slide down a pole like they strippers and shit and come down and kick in the window and all
use
that.
warrants as a shield, or use children as a shield for warrants?
No. We're just saying, like, all right, let's say you have to kick down a door, right? But let's say that person has like
kids, we ain't gonna serve a warrant.
You might hurt someone.
No, if we
using that, again, that sounds, you sound like an agent when you said that just now, because that's what an agent would say. But if somebody's selling drugs and they from poverty, right? Maybe they're selling drugs, but they're from poverty. They're also related to other people, and there are integral reasons why other people have no choice but to be in that same house with that person. So there could be children in that house. So this idea that you hold up, time out. This idea that
it's philosophically asking about this, then what are the repercussions of selling said drugs? What are the consequences?
It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. You're supposed to. It don't matter in the premise of what I'm talking about.
If you're part of the disease in a neighborhood, let me ask you, if you're part of a disease in a neighborhood, then why not have a cop or somebody of some sort of authority remove that disease from the neighborhood so the neighborhood could flourish and grow instead of have to deal with.
Okay, but again, the process of extraction, right? How are you going to do that? Kicking the door indiscriminately at 3:00 in the morning. You don't give a damn if there's a child in there. And if there is a child in there and the child does die, the cop was right because he got rid of a drug dealer.
That's assuming somebody has no feelings towards children. That's assuming that nobody has any feelings.
It happened a million times. It happened a bunch of times in America since I've been alive. Since from a teenager to now, I've seen at least at least 20 stories, and it happened.
Let's get something straight. I'm not saying. Dude, what I'm exactly saying is that, that's not right. It shouldn't happen at all.
Cops should not have the power to access private property with or without a warrant because unannounced, period. With a warrant means they should knock on your door and tell you they have a warrant to come in there and then search your house, which you letting them in.
No,
they have to
Philadelphia, 1982.
Let me say something real quick. All right. Now, as far as the warrants go, private means private. Now, if you in the projects, that is not private. If you are in an apartment building, it's not private. So people need to know the difference, because people think that their apartments, because they're paying rent, is their apartment. It's not your apartment. You're just paying to dwell there. You're a dweller. You're an interloper, whatever they want to call it. You're a dweller. This is not yours.
Yeah.
So the laws for someone kicking in a project door is very complex for those who don't live in a project, who live out of New York City or whatever.
When you get a project apartment, you sign that into you give them that right, because even as a resident that's paying rent, you do have rights. But you do sign to live in the projects. You do sign it over. You sign it over, literally.
It's like the locker at high school or at work, man. The work owns, or the high school owns the locker. You're just using it, pretty much. It's kind of like the locker.
Not your locker, because if they want to get in that mofo, they're gonna get in it. Just like the apartments down here. Like, hold on. I just basically, somebody got kicked out their crib. Like, it's not theirs. Like, they just literally went in, took their stuff, and threw it on the streets. That's why, not the streets, but in the complex. That's why I have a pull-up bar. That's like, wow, you just really, okay. Thanks. So it's not yours. You are a renter. That's why people try to talk this renting versus owning stuff. And even the ownership. Yeah, you own the house. You don't own the land it's on, do you? It's a difference. This is South shit talking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
There's
A-Ron
some
know what I'm
layers, a
talking
lot of
about.
layers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, excuse me. Damn. Doc moves. My fault for saying y'all motherfuckers initials and shit. Sorry. But you know what I mean? It's a difference. Like you can own that house. Yeah, you can have 1,000 houses, but if the damn city or the state owns the where your house is standing on, they can do what they want to do. You have to go or forfeit whatever, or let us use this for whatever kind of den to torture whoever to do whatever. So I mean, you got to know if you what you own and you got to know what you're talking about. Because a lot of people, even when it comes to people who try to exercise their rights on the street. Yeah, certain times it's good, and certain times it's good to just use your Fifth Amendment and shut up because you're
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. And me and maybe Doc knows too. We've been following Sean Paul Reyes for more than 5 years, or at least hearing about it. I've been following Sean. I've been following him for years. I heard
Yeah.
about him years ago. So that man's
Mm-hmm.
game is tight, boy. Wherever he's going, whatever he's doing his homework and he's not playing with you. That's why that's why I should have showed the videos, or I wish I would have got to give y'all certain videos so y'all could have seen his demeanor. Like the whole time, every time with Officer Fahey, except for once, Sean Paul always retreated. He always backed up.
Hey, let me
And
ask you
one time,
this: in the 5 years that you've been watching him, has he gone up to people's doorsteps and shit like that, or is this the first one that he's done at all?
yeah, because the Brian Fahey thing, he got arrested for it. He got arrested. Excuse me, my fault. This is a beautiful segue. I appreciate you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I want to know if it was his first time walking up to a cop's door.
Now
or
that going to
or,
the only reason the Brian Fahey thing happened, you saw the first two incidents. The one where Brian Fahey had on the salmon colored shirt, and all he did was saying, "Well, if you're busy, because it's a public place. The police station and where he was is a public place." Somebody buzzing. But he sat there and told him this is a public place. So when he told Fahey, hey, all right, Fahey said he was busy. He's like, all right, I gave you the information. He's like, well, if you're busy, get back to work. Are you telling me to get back to work? That's where the initial problem happened.
Oh,
you telling me what to do? Blah, blah, blah.
When he assumed the role of his boss to tell him what to fucking do. That's a provocateur. That's somebody who's trying to provoke the situation. And
but if you sat there and said,
man,
hey, Ron,
I mean, dude, if you
sat there and told me you're busy,
you just
hey,
I'm not even a cop. I am a fucking layman. All right, I'm a blue collar. Work your ass off, sweat your ass off. If you're not bearing the cross like me, then you're an asshole, lazy. I'm just like your typical blue collar. And if you were to walk up into my work and tell me to get fucking busy, we're throwing down. Guaranteed.
But he didn't say it like that.
Hold on.
Like that.
Hey, hold on a second. If you talk to me like a slave, I'm not having it. I'm not having you.
No, I get what you're saying.
And I'm not having you talk to anybody. I'm not having you talk to anybody around me that I work with as that in any way, shape, or form. I will blow up like this tomorrow. Get to work.
I definitely understand.
Get to work right between my fucking legs.
That was different. This case was different. You're not Ron, listen.
I don't know, but man, you tell me to get to work. Fuck you. Where you got something personal against me?
You gotta keep it though. There's a difference between.
No, I'd be like, we're gonna settle this right now. We're not gonna have this problem from like 30 seconds from now. We're not gonna have this problem anymore. Guarantee you.
Move. You're a blue collar American. That man, Brian Fahey, is not a blue collar American. He is a piece of shit. You can't compare yourself to him, brother.
You don't talk to any man like that. You don't talk to Jackie like that. You don't talk to Yellow like that.
But if I sat there, no,
you don't walk up though. But you don't walk up to public servants and treat them like fucking verbal punching bags. They're not.
But keep the context, bro. Understand the context, though. Here's the context. You're trying to shoo me away by saying, here, you go here. And I was told this is where I need to be. Yeah. So you're trying to shoo me away, tell me go here. And this is a public place. So when you're like, all right, I got work to do. You sat there and said yourself, I have work to do. Okay. You just wanted me to leave. I didn't leave you, but this is a public place.
Yeah, but wasn't he trying
I'm
to
a
get into
First
it?
Amendment auditor.
Wasn't he trying to get into a police training facility?
It's public.
No, but wasn't he trying to get into a police
Yeah.
training facility? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's like me just thinking aloud, all right? Because like I've got
Yeah,
people.
yeah, you're allowed to think aloud.
I got family in the
right.
military. I got family in public servants and the first responders, all that kind of shit. And the way I'm looking at it is like, okay, I'm the SWAT team. I get called in to fucking deal with like cartels, to fucking local gangs and shit like that are stacking up kilos and shit like that. I got a warrant for their arrest, a plan of attack, et cetera, et cetera. Now, do I want a guy that has got thousands of followers, if not hundreds of thousands of followers, to come into this facility to see how we train, to give an instructional video on how somebody who plans to break the law, how they can protect themselves against a fucking SWAT team because I let this asshole with a fucking camera in here to videotape how we train.
And here's the part.
It would work against us.
Here's the point to counteract what you're saying. If you want to be this secretive, then you have to guard it with your life. Meaning, put up them fences, put up them not authorized, so that person or those people, because First Amendment auditors are coming, bro. Pause.
Okay.
They are here.
Okay.
They're here, bro.
Yeah,
Don't be surprised if one pops up at your job.
I see.
He went there. Look. He went online and searched up. Can he go to this? Where can he go get information for X, Y, and Z? They said for X, Y, and Z, he could go to this building, whether it's a training building or not. The internet said where you want to get the information for that you're looking for, you have to go there. You have to go down there. Okay, so he went down there. Now, granted that he went down there with the cameras. Now, cameras is everywhere. Now, this is a public building. You're allowed to film in a public building, not breaking no law.
Nope.
So now he goes in there with the camera. They don't like it. The thing that we realize is the difference between policy. There's a difference
a lot
between
of people are emotional.
feelings. There's a difference between the law.
Policy and law.
You understand? And just because you're having a fucked up day or you don't like a person doesn't mean you have to treat them like shit. And that goes for the auditor as well as the officer.
True.
But you got to remember, as an officer, you feel you have authority as is.
No, you work for us, officer. Officer, you work for us. The hardworking man.
But they don't take that into consideration, and nor do everyday public people, because we let things go and we give up our rights if we don't defend our rights. And that's all what these people are doing. And granted people don't want to get doxxed and this, that, and third. If somebody wanted to dox you, they're going to dox you. You understand? And they're not going to dox you because someone came up with a camera. They're going to dox you for you being an asshole. You understand? And whatever's public record is public record.
No, man, you're up to somebody else's discretion. What if a psychopath decides you're an asshole? What if a fucking, somebody who's
that's already the way the world is. That's already the way the world is. You're just giving it more attention.
So
giving it more attention.
Don't oppose it, right?
No, because to be a cop, to be a cop and to have that kind of mindset, you're gonna hyperinflate it, and then you're gonna create situations where you're just gonna be attacking people.
How do any four of us know that when none of us have gone through the academy? None of us have walked a beat. None of us have had to serve a warrant. None of us had to drag somebody out of a car and give them CPR.
Everything you just said, people have done that to some capacity. It's just that cops are utilizing the words of agencies to commit to express that commission of action. But everybody done that already. You had to. Sometimes people stole from you. You had to go get your shit, right?
Yeah.
And when you went to go get your shit, they had friends there. It was an audience, a court. And if you was unrighteous, them niggas would have jumped you. But guess what? They didn't jump you. They let you handle your shit because you went there righteously. You possessed a warrant, right? You was able to, in the conversation, yo, that's mine. This is the color it was. Lyle said he saw you do it. She said she saw you do it. Boom, I did it. His man was ready to jump you, but when they hurt, it broke him down psychologically. They didn't jump you. They let you press your man. Yo, I want to shoot the fair one with you, so our block don't have to fight your block. Let me get my shit back. Boom, boom, boom. You fighting, you get your shit back. You're going about your business. Warrant executed. So
Yo, hold on.
this idea,
If that wasn't,
No,
yo,
but
time out,
any
time out,
outsider,
time
hey,
out.
but any outsider,
listen,
Yo,
man.
time out. Hold up,
Nah, man,
any
you
hold up.
talk as if
This
cops
man just
have these
told a
certain.
McAdoo tale.
yeah,
He
but
just
any
told a
outsider,
McAdoo tale. That's some
Facts,
McAdoo
facts,
shit right
facts,
yeah,
there, bro.
but justice
facts,
or not,
facts.
hey, justice or not, dude, the outsider in that is going to get fucked every time. Who speaks up for that guy? You know that's the thing. You know when you're
What do
in
you
the
mean?
hood,
Who's the outsider?
you're dealing
Who's
with
the
people.
outsider?
It's the same thing out here in the country. When you're in the hood and you're dealing with people that
So
you
maybe
know.
don't be a cop if
Hold
you don't
on,
live there or if you're not from there.
hold on. When you're in the hood and you've been dealing with people like that you've known 15, 20 years, then you know that they're going to respond a certain way when it comes down to that kind of block maintenance. And the same thing happens out here in the country. If the thing of it is like nobody steps up. And I lived in this spot here for 15 years now. And I'm here to tell you that, yeah, in every conversation I've ever had, I've not always been the black person ever. Okay, I've never been a black person in any conversation I've ever had in my life. Okay, but
Yeah, you left him
there are a whole
quiet.
lot of other conversations that I had that I certainly was not the white person. So I do know to a certain level of degree what you're talking about when it comes
Okay.
to that shit.
Okay, but let me can I add to what you're
Keep being
saying?
an outsider when you go to use that and it's called mob justice is what that shit is called. Okay, it's what the
Okay,
whole mob does, whether regardless of the Constitution, regardless of the laws, in any way, shape, or form. Where while those laws are there to protect the weak and protect the people that can't protect themselves, that's why the law is there. It's not just survival of the fittest and the whole nine yards. It's not just you don't get to create this survival of the fittest fucking Sparta society. You can, yes. Is it lawful? Fuck no, it's not. Because when a guy like me
but it is lawful because that's what's happening already.
Now hold on, y'all.
if you
Because
extrapolate it enough, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
because
That's-
here's what I want to do. I want to point out real quick, right? Is that we need to just acknowledge that whoever cops are, the majority of them, right? When they get agency, they basically hyperinflate the same rights that everybody else have. And they think they have it double twice or 10 times more. So if I'm a cop, I have more privacy to you. My privacy could be my car now. My car is private more so than your car is. Or if I'm walking, I don't have to tell you my name or whatever if I don't want to. Or if I'm angry at you, I get to tell you to stop. And I could detain you and things like that, right? I could commence a civil arrest, but without even seeing you do a crime, just because, right? So this idea that cops are not lying all the time, even the good ones, about simple reasons why something escalated to arrest is bullshit. All right, they're not out here just. It's a job for most people, and because it's a job for most people, they don't even care about Constitution. The cops don't even have an ideology of why they're cops. If you ask most of them, it is just a
Yeah,
job.
It's just a
facts.
job.
And then
Where
they'll
it
say,
is.
right? So this
no,
idea that here's the thing. I believe
wait.
in American culture, I'm gonna say something I observe in American culture, right? In American culture, the idea that cops were just protecting and serving and respect the Constitution initially, that's not true. That's what they have to sell the world because they were dealing with people whose land they
No,
basically hijacked
yeah,
and created a nation on top of. They created a nation on top of a nation
I
that
would
was here.
definitely disagree with you
So
because
the military,
hold on,
the slave catchers or whoever those people were,
I
these
think you're right when
agents.
it
Wait
comes
up,
down
one at
to
a time.
yeah, I think you're right when it comes down to certain people getting a badge and it gets the better of them in the sense of corruption, in the sense of abuse, and I completely agree with you. But there are other folks that become cops simply because they heard a call to that particular uniform. Firefighters are the same way, and so are military folks. They hear a call
No.
to the uniform, they hear a call of something that's bigger than them, and they're ready to swear to the law.
Okay.
No,
And
that's not true. That's
You
not true. That's
no,
not
no,
true.
yes, it is. Now,
you
Not
see
today.
that
I'm telling
phrase
you,
that you said,
no,
hear a call?
what?
You see that hear a call phrase?
What?
That phrase where you say you hear a call, that is straight from
Yeah,
marketing.
No, it's
They
not.
hear a
No, it's
that's
call.
not.
not true.
You get what
No,
I'm saying?
hold on.
So
Let me finish.
that's
No,
true.
let
That
me
is yeah.
finish that fucking statement.
Yeah.
They're
Let him finish.
ready.
Let him finish.
They hear.
I heard a
They
call.
hear a call.
Hands on the waist,
Wait,
face up,
wait.
chin up.
Talk,
I heard a
talk.
Hey,
Let him
call.
talk.
dude,
Let him talk. Let him
I'm
talk.
not going to belittle anything you're saying. What I'm trying to say is that when they hear this call, they hear a call to a particular service. Now, dude, you can laugh all you want, but I know 3 generations of firefighters, bro. 3 generations of family that were in there putting out fires, saving people's lives, you name it. Okay, they're not
Listen,
cops. They don't kick down fucking
and that's
doors. And the
generational.
funny thing of it is like here,
That's not a calling. That's
it's
generational.
and the
Which
thing
means
of it
there's some nepotism
is,
going on in
no,
there.
no, no, no.
So,
Hold on a second.
Wait, let him
It's
speak. Let
not
him speak. Then
which
Don
is
go.
it's
Then
a
it's
you
whole
healthy.
go.
family of people that have the ability to do something that not everybody can do. Dude, if you could pack 250 pounds of fire hose up 8 flights within 4 fucking minutes, then get on the fucking fire department. Yeah, dude, if you can
You
pass
may
some
not
fucking
have to
fire
do that if
requirements,
you
then
may
go
not have
right
to do
on
that if
ahead.
your
But
father
the
was
thing
there,
is,
bro.
hold on. But the
Let
thing
him
Yeah,
let him finish.
nowadays,
yeah.
Doc.
But
hold
my
on.
Let him
my
finish.
Hold
colleague,
And
on.
then Doc go. Let him finish. Then Doc go.
The thing nowadays is that everybody can be a firefighter if they want to. Everybody can be a cop if they want to. So they have this choice of behavior. No, they don't. You can't be a cop every day. You can't be a firefighter every day. And the thing of it is this. And I don't mean to give praise where praise isn't given. Firefighters, along with cops, work 24-hour shifts. Period. It may not be these corrupt cops that we were talking about tonight. It may not be the
Right.
same corrupt cops that killed fucking Officer Jason Ellis. But the thing of it is, I don't even know, allegedly, fucking, whatever, and unalived, whatever. But my point
Yeah.
is this:
Thank you.
the actual people that wear that uniform and mean it with their hearts and souls when they swear themselves in, from the time they swear in to the time they retire, that they want to serve the public. They want to do it well. They don't want to fucking break the law. They don't want to fucking infringe on anybody's rights. They want to be the little
Like
referee
something share.
that they want to be that referee that says time out, you calm down, okay, here's the solution, can you guys deal with it? Fucking A, let's rock. And that's pretty much it, man. That's the only purpose they usually serve. But when they run into car wrecks, the fucking Cypress Freeway collapsing on itself at the Loma Prieta earthquake, cops and fucking firefighters and ambulances are out there rescuing people. They don't just kick doors in.
people was out there rescuing people
Yes, they
too.
were. But at the same time, these people have sworn in and taken the classes in order to properly rescue people. Dude, California is arguably one of the best places to learn first responder.
I mean, they could just teach that in school. They could just make that part of the educational
You're absolutely
curriculum and
right.
just stop it instead of making these
But
people the gods of firefighting and the gods of proper
instead
rescuing. I
we've got
mean,
a school system.
everybody could be certified
Yeah, but
in the
we got a
craft.
school system that no, dude, you don't get to just teach that in school, bro. Because the thing is,
I don't know,
yes,
man. I
you
think a
can have
lot of people
you can
just
have the knowledge,
hijacking human nature
you can have the knowledge all
and
day.
giving
Look,
themselves certificates and locking other people out from the
yes, you
ability
That's
can
to
have
what it
vote.
comes down to.
look,
It comes down to a money affair.
you can have all
That's why
The
there's so much
money.
corruption of
you
cops
can have all the
because
knowledge in the world.
because people have evolved to
Here,
criminals because it's just these families that are locked in these
Hmm.
jobs.
you're saying
Nobody else can get
you're
into
saying
and get actual power. So they're just
So you be
distorting what we
gatekeeping.
see and distorting human
yes,
language. So we could never actually have real
yes,
cops.
and
What
that's
we have is just people who just been overdoing it for years and generations. Practically
yeah,
inbred
but
police officers run the
that's
system,
the breakdown of the system. No,
like inbred
listen,
government agents
that's
and
the
all that.
breakdown.
First,
Yeah, just back to
first,
That's the
Confronting.
first and
breakdown of the
foremost,
system, though.
first and
That's what
foremost, I want to give a shout
they
out to
One at
sold
a
you.
time.
all the
They sold
policemen
you
that's
on.
out there that's doing it for their will, or they're doing it for the right reasons, and they're doing it with the faithful and the thoughtness of being straight cop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
but
the same thing goes for a
the
fireman. Hold on, I want to say my say because you had your time. I want
yeah,
to move
yeah,
on
yeah.
right now. Same thing with the fireman, firewoman. They go rushing to fire. They do things that I wouldn't be able to do. You understand? So shout out to them. and the people that's able to do that. You know what I mean? But let's be for real about all these agencies that's out there that's been generational, passed down because my father did it, my grandfather, his father did it, and this is what's expected from my family. You know what I mean? And certain people have opportunities to do that. You know what I mean? Certain families have been doing that from when they came over from coming through from Ellis Island. You understand? Um, some people wasn't able to get them jobs. Some people was too corrupt to get them jobs at them times when police departments was being formed. This go all over the United States of the great nation that we in. You know what I mean? Now, same thing with the fire department. Look at the last names. You know what I mean? Now it just recently, within the last maybe 20, 30 years, that African Americans is being allowed to have a family, oriented inside the in the fire department. You understand? Um, so you got to understand that opportunity wasn't there for everybody to move. So and now that we getting first certain things right now, and I hate to bring it to this level like that, but opportunities ain't there for everybody. So you
Yo,
Oh, yo, where'd you go, man?
yo. All right, hold on now. Because of that, I want to still stick to what I was talking about. This is the last one, and then I guess we can freestyle how we talk if we're gonna still continue to go. But let me finish this just last video, and this is Sean Paul actually confronting the Connecticut Council because just for the sake of the length of the show, um, Sean Paul was basically barred from Groton, Connecticut. Wherever he went, they would shut the place down. They would close down public forums, public places. They were shutting these places down until he left. It's like, wow. And I think, believe it or not, now, this is my little feeble mind. Connecticut is a Commonwealth state, and they can do whatever they want whenever they want to. They say when you hustle, you don't want to get caught in no Commonwealth state when you hustling.
Yeah.
That's Connecticut is a Commonwealth. I believe Pennsylvania is a Commonwealth state. Virginia. I can't remember all of them. I'm not going to sit here and act like, but I know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Connecticut is a Commonwealth state. I believe Delaware might be too. I'm not. I don't remember. But Connecticut, I'm sure of. Pennsylvania, Virginia, those are Commonwealth states, and
And
they
each
can
of these
change
states,
laws.
yeah, each of these states, each of the states of the United States have their own constitution too.
Yeah, that's true too.
They are given extensions of the law through the federal government to create the constitutions of their own states too. So it's like,
But I mean, it doesn't. Those constitutions of the states still wouldn't trump the United States one. But I dig what you're saying because you are right, and that's sometimes where the disconnect comes with law enforcement. They sit there, they misconstrue ordinances as if that's like the end all be all. An
yeah,
ordinance, yeah, you can have it, but it doesn't trump the Constitution.
exactly, precisely, and that's where I would definitely agree with Source there. I mean, like, the the civilian or the regular Joe, it takes precedence. So we got rights over everybody, over all of our public servants.
Yeah,
But if you're going to choose to be a public servant, to the degree that a public servant is supposed to behave, then you're making quite a few sacrifices when it comes down to shit.
a lot of sacrifices.
So,
Your life is the main one, but your name is the other.
and that's the thing, like and it's hard to determine who is in the right and who's in the wrong, who's criminal, who's corrupt. And that's where you get brave individuals like Sean Paul there to agitate the situation so he gets answers. Now, there's only one hook to this. Like, I asked you earlier if this was like the first one that you saw him being videotaped up this guy's driveway and then at his front door. And from what I understand, it just might be the first. And I could be wrong. You know, I'm not trying to cast aspersions in any way, shape, or form. I like the
No,
guy.
but I think it is because of their history
I
of
like,
the 2 times they met before. But go ahead.
and I like because I've seen other guys do this too. You know, these auditors are aware of laws that I wasn't aware of, and
Yeah.
beyond knowing what laws I was unaware of, I watched it, become aware of those laws, and I moved the fuck on. But the reason why I ask is because
Just remember, they're state to state too, brother. They're state to state too. The laws in Georgia aren't the same as the laws in Kentucky, as New York, or as if source is still in Oregon. Everywhere we're gonna have different laws, but those
regardless
laws
of the differences
sometimes
of laws,
depends on what it is. It does nothing of that shit trumps the Constitution.
yes.
Supposedly.
Okay,
Supposedly.
but here's where I'm coming from. All right, you said the guy who's been doing this for like 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years.
No. He's been doing it longer than that. We've been following him.
Oh, we've been following that on. Okay, cool. So
yeah.
All right. So what I would do is like give you homework, okay? Because like this guy, he seems like he's doing some good work, and you following him so much so that we're doing a podcast about it. And what I would do is I would look up videos of him going to somebody's front door, and I would be willing to fucking bet my paycheck that this is like either the first or maybe the second or third time he's come to somebody's door.
I know he said like
this guy's got a channel and he needs clicks. And
I think it might not be. I know he said he was being unlawfully pushed out of a public area, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go to your chief's front door, and I believe he'll do it. But now I'm gonna look it up because he said to. And I'm gonna get you an answer. I swear, moves. You know, I'm gonna do it.
That's a good question to ask. I mean, I'm not
saying
like if it's not his first time, and if he's done it like 18 times before, and I'm full of shit, then you know, like I said, I don't mean to cast aspersions, but that's a good question to ask. It's like,
no,
is this dude been doing it too long? Is he watching his numbers taper off? You know, okay, cool. I'll create a little bit of conflict at this guy's door because I know it's gonna fucking piss him off because it's private property.
Nah, but you know what? I don't think it's I don't think it's a thing for the like his network ratings, as we would call it. It's not a thing for the ratings because he goes to so many places and there's so many little towns. He's gonna always be arrested. He's been arrested so many times.
The internet never forgets. Is like if he had like 1.5 million followers, and then you know you look nowadays and he's got 1.2. You know that's 300,000. You know,
gone. No, I hear what you're saying, but no, his content, his locations, they're always different. Only place I haven't seen, was Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah,
I haven't seen in Alaska. I haven't seen any auditor in Alaska or Hawaii. Maybe one, but they live there.
And the thing of it is like the complaints. I really wish Source was able to stick around because I like hearing his complaints about that because like it's a complaint of skin color at that point that in a perspective that I
think some of that plays a part. You know, with John Paul.
Well, and I think so too. And these complaints suggest a simple solution, you know, for your average everyday black person. You know, that's the thing, you know, like some of these changes can be absolutely simple when it comes down to dealing with situations in that particular culture, and be aware of these complaints, you know, when dealing with that situation. But at the same time, it's like, you know, basically what I was trying to do is describe a cop's world. I'm not talking about a corrupt cop. Let's say get off corrupt cops for just like 30 seconds. And talk about the good cops. The cops that grow up in a shitty neighborhood. They grew up I'm telling you this right now. There's a lot of cops that are Puerto Ricans that come from the South Bronx that went right into the academy. And because they saw how shitty the South Bronx was, or the Bronx was, or Brooklyn, and they wanted to make a difference. And now
No, that's why I understood what you mean. What you said, a calling. I did
Yeah,
understand. That's why I wanted you to finish what you were saying because some people just and they think the best way to go about it is becoming a policeman or like someone who makes a
and I
platform,
was
like
going to touch
John
on the
Paul. He
answer to
wants to make
that.
a platform to help the people.
Yes, I got an answer for that too. And it has to do with our educational system. Source touched on it earlier tonight when he was mentioning that, like, everybody's been fooled into thinking that they can be an astronaut. Everybody's been fooled into thinking that they can be a firefighter, or anybody can be a cop, or anybody can do this or do that. Anybody can be a carpenter. Anybody can do this, that, or the other thing.
Oh, just
What they don't
legally.
understand is that it takes time and application and dedication to whatever art that you have to develop in whatever trade that you pick up. So, like, if you're a carpenter, your first cuts on the saw and your first marks on your measurements aren't going to be on point. And when you've done it for like a year, 2, 3 years, you've been cutting wood, you've measured twice, you cut once, and all of a sudden you start to learn that art. With people who, excuse me, with people who go into to public servants, they look at it the same way because those are the same jobs that they had to do in order to go through the training and go through the schooling and get the certification before they even get to swear themselves in. Now, yes, the swearing in, you can goof off at it all you want, because yeah, you've obviously got cops and firemen and ambulance folks that are going to sign it arbitrarily, because they see what power it gives them. Okay, so for like a paramedic that really doesn't care about their job, they just care about the between life and death type of thing. What gets them off is seeing the tragedy on a highway after an accident, or something happens at a farm, or I'm trying to keep the gory details from the public, because I was a first responder myself. This is my first job. By the time I was 18, I pulled 250 people out of the water, and I dealt with people on their worst day, their absolute worst day in their entire lives, and they were very happy to see that I clocked in that day to do my job. Now I took my job seriously, and from 16 to 19, I did that job. I went to the lifeguard Olympics, got my gold medal, and I was accepted to one of the best, if not arguably the best, first responder school in the United States. It was Las Positas Lake Chabot College. And I could have taken that from anywhere to shallow sea rescue, deep sea rescue, alpines. I could go up into the mountains and learn how to rescue people out of the snow and rescue people out of the mountains. I can go down to Baja, California, and train with Marines over at 29 Palms and doing desert rescue. I mean, these doors were opening up because I was very good at what I did, and not many people could do it. And I have a firm understanding of what that's about. Now, yes, that's as far as a rescue is concerned, but in a cop and a firefighter a lot too. But in a cop, they're expected to know all of that shit and be a cop and know the law and protect and so they know what kind of endeavor that they're attempting, and they assume in no way, shape, or form that they're going to be perfect at it, which scares the shit out of them. Okay, that's what they worry about when their head pops up off the pillow: is, am I doing my job right? That's a good cop. Now, a bad cop is the cop that goes through school, and our school tells them, hey, you can be a fucking cop if you want to. It's just like Law and Order. You've seen a bunch of those fucking episodes, haven't you? Hell, you've seen it on YouTube, haven't you? You know what? You can be a cop if you want to. Fuck the calling. Fuck the personal or the intrinsic. The intrinsic meaning that person's going to pour towards that job. That heartfelt meaning, that soulful meaning that they get out of that job. That has nothing to do with the guy that's been sitting in school for anywhere in the past like 20 or 30 years, if you ask me. In the past 20 or 30 years, schools had everybody believing that you can write code or you can fucking dig holes or you can. No, the guy who can write code can't dig fucking holes. Guarantee it. I've seen it tried.
No, you have a point.
So
You
like,
have a
let's
point.
say the guy can't even dig a fucking hole, but he wants to be a fucking cop.
Because I can't dig holes, or I can dig holes,
the guy
but I
can
can't
only
write
dig
code.
holes, but he wants to be a cop. Oh, and then we write it into law and saying, hey, you know what? If you want to try and be a cop, go right ahead. We'll lower the standards, okay? We'll lower the physical standards. We'll lower the education that you have to have.
It's how you talk about DEI now.
And then before you know it, you've got these motherfuckers that have a badge and a gun and a chip on their fucking shoulder, and they're not cops. And that's where that's where this Sean Paul guy really, I'll bring it right back around to this guy. I admire this guy's work, but it's provocative, man. I mean, it's no joke, you know. Like he could get himself into like he can get himself unalive doing some stupid shit like wandering up.
Now listen, Moose. Let me tell you. I'm gonna reiterate because I know it's been a while since I said it. That dude, I think he's 6-figure. He might be a 7-figure dude off of settlement. Now, of course, money's not worth a life, no matter how much.
Amen.
I'm just letting you know how much he knows his job. Because this is I know he doesn't do anything for a living anymore. If he did, he knows wherever he's going, he studies it. That's why we're trying to tell you, like, we've been watching him for 5 years, but he's been doing it longer. And I've been following him for like 3, but I've been watching him, looking at the videos like, yo, this dude is like, he really be everywhere. And now the city, I'm glad this segues into the last video because I do want to play this video. It segues perfectly because now that Groton stuff, he has made such a issue of it now that he's basically banned. I'm telling you, that's how I feel. He's banned from Connecticut, not Groton, but Connecticut for the most part, because he's made such a big stink. Now you've seen the thing with the officers. You see his people, they wouldn't even let them speak. Now here's him confronting the Connecticut City Council. And by the way, before I play this video, after this video, there's another video. I might not get to that one, but there's another video because it takes a while. And like I said, they over this situation where everything is on camera, you see everything clearly. They stopped those people from speaking. From 5 minutes, it went to 2 minutes. And that's where I'm going back to saying that's a Commonwealth state and they can do whatever they want, change things the way they want. If I sat there, because I was hustling in PA, Commonwealth state, they could have sat there and made the Jack Law. Anybody who came from Harlem that tries to make money out here and, fornicate with our white women, they get 15 years automatically, even if it's only one bag of weed. Yeah. That's what a Commonwealth state can do to you. That's what they can do to you. That's just they do whatever they want. But let me play this before we start talking and we get caught up again.
Thank you. Your time has expired. Mr. Reyes.
Oh, let me make sure that's the.
Thank you. Your time has expired. Mr.
They ain't
Reyes,
even want him to talk.
You did not announce your address.
Transparency isn't optional.
Thank you.
Your public
Your time has. You're out of order.
Do the right thing.
You're out of order. Mr. Reyes, you did not list your address.
On July 11th, 2025, something happened here that should alarm every single person who believes in justice. A Connecticut State Police Sergeant, Brian Fahey, brandished a firearm, physically assaulted me, and even spat in my face while I was engaged in a constitutionally protected activity. He got in my face, bumped into me, threatened me, pointed his weapon near me, and then spit directly in my face and mouth, all while falsely claiming to 911 that I threatened to kill him. Your police department arrived, and instead of arresting the aggressor, the person who committed felonies, they arrested me and my cameraman on baseless charges of felony voyeurism, criminal trespass, and breach of the peace. My bond, which was set by your police department, was originally set at $10,000.
Which means $1,000.
The camera, they told me they were receiving calls from high up. Was it you? Was it you? Who were the calls from high up? Was it the police chief who worked for the Connecticut State Police for 22 years? And they said, well, now your bond is $75,000.
Which is $7,500.
$75,000.
Thank you. Time has expired. Mr. Reyes, you did not announce your address.
I didn't hear him speak for 2 minutes.
Thank you. Your time has, you're out of order.
Do the right thing.
You're out of order.
Time is up.
And the people
Thank you. Your time has expired.
better. You're cowards who
You didn't list your address. Mr. Reyes, you did not list your
I
address.
ain't listing
Thank you.
nothing.
Time has expired. Mr. Reyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like he really wants to make some waves, and you know, like if he's going in the right direction, fucking, you know, power to him, dude. You know, but I could see so many wrong directions that this end up going into, that would be really unjust to him. But I don't know, man. I don't know another way that you could expose some sort of like corruption without, you know, reaching a ridiculous.
Oh no, he's definitely putting himself on the line if that's where you're trying to lead yourself.
Yeah.
He's definitely putting himself. I understand what you're saying, Moves. He's definitely putting himself on the line. That's why I sit here and advocate for him, because I believe he deserves respect as a person who's followed his career. As you know, his career's been, like I said, he's been doing it longer. But I think 5 years is enough of me following, and then 3 years. I mean, 5 years of witnessing, and then 3 years of actually following, so that he could pop up in my algorithms. I think that's enough to say, like, I've watched this man in so many cities, towns.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Source. Let me ask you. I was asking Jackie earlier. All right, so I haven't followed him, and like I said, I admire work like his work, because he's not the first one that I'd seen, and you know, like I said, you know, much props to his service. But in the number of years that you've been watching him, is this the only time that you've seen him go up to somebody's front door?
I don't know if Sauce follows him. You'd have had to ask Doc that. Sauce, you know about Long Island Audit?
Yeah, but I don't watch it.
Okay.
I just like, seen little shorts every now and then for the past couple of years or so.
Yeah, it's
but at least he's. But listen to what he said. Past couple of years. I mean, he's been doing this for. Doc would have been the better person. Shout out to Doc. I appreciate you for.
I don't mean to qualify. No. I don't mean to qualify the guy in any way, shape, or form. You know, like you want to
know what gives this man the right to do what he's doing. What are his credentials? I get what you're saying, brother.
No. The thing of it is this is why I admire the guy. Okay, he's a layman. All right, like he is. Like he's not gone to law school. Like he would still be in law school right now. You know what I'm saying? Like so if he was a lawyer doing this investigating, that kind of stuff, I wouldn't know. And that's the cool part about it. You know, like it gives me hope as a blue collar guy, you know, a working stiff, that if I need to, I can go into this direction should I witness some sort of like corruption in my
injustice. You
know, and it's encouraging. Like it really is. It's encouraging for people to be this active in the community and this knowledgeable. But at the same time, this guy has had to make it his career in order to get it out to people, which is awesome. You know, like it really is. You know, because I would not do this shit. I would not, dude. I would expect my face to get blown off if I walked up to a cop's fucking front door.
Yo, but listen here, Moves. All right. Me and Saw already know. No. But here's the point I'm gonna make right now. We out on the east side. You remember that?
Yeah.
Name the cop that we thought was so cool that we all knew. You can't. Just like me and Sauce, we were in Brooklyn I wasn't with him for 5 years. I was there for 5 years.
Right.
I probably was with him for 2.
I got checkmate right here. Hey, yo, I got checkmate right here. Name the firefighter.
Nobody knows either one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Firefighter don't serve no warrants. Firefighter don't fucking put
But firefighters don't
firefighter
violate
don't.
you. And
Yeah,
but wait,
firefighter don't violate your rights.
but
Firefighter,
they
hey,
harm
guess
for
what?
you if you
You got
wait.
blacks, white, yellow, purple. It don't matter. He's sworn to fucking go into your house and drag your ass out of there to save your life. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So like nobody knows. See, that's what my point is. You know, like, you know the fucking free throw point average of Shaq, but you don't know the fucking rescue average of your top firefighter. We got our heroes
No,
wrong.
but we don't know the top cops neither. We just know the top dirty ones,
Yeah,
aka for New York City. Hold on. I got to get this out because I hate them still,
yeah.
and it's been 20
Amen.
years.
Amen.
AKA Detective Leahy, AKA Detective Alameda, Ratface, the RoboCops of the world, the Red Dogs from Atlanta. I hate you all. I said it. Ratface was so dirty and he was so mad that I was so much smarter than him. He just like little reasons. I got detained so many times and taken to the precinct and ran through the system that the judge had to sit there and say, if I see this man one more time with no real crime attached to him, we're gonna have a problem. And then I got to walk around the I felt like Tupac when he got out off his shit. I felt
Yeah.
like Tupac. Like, now y'all can't even touch me. Y'all can't talk to me. Y'all can't even walk up to me. And it seems like it got out because I used to go up and they say, "Hey, what's going on, champ?" I used to tell them the I don't want to say it, but SMD. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I used to tell SMD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suck. You know what I mean? My Johnson. There we go.
Yeah.
I could use that one. I just walk on the walk by though, on the walk by, because they were so. That's why this with Sean Paul, and I've been arrested illegally so many times. I wish I had Sean Paul 20 years ago, because you know how much money I'd have. Do you know how much money I'd have? Like I was going to jail for. That's why I've never been to prison with all the arrests, because they've all been like thrown out. They've been BS.
Yeah, but see,
They've been BS.
nothing happens without God's hand. You know what? Who knows what would have happened if you gotten the Sean Paul money or fucking Shaq money for that matter, man. And the way I look at it is, there are like, man, I'm sure that the penal system isn't the only thing that's record worthy for Uncle Jackie. You know but at the same time, like, I can understand your disdain for that shit simply because it's you know what it's supposed to be. You know exactly what it's supposed to be, and when it goes like 160 degrees in the opposite direction, it's evil.
Yo, you know what? I got another video, and it is yo. I ain't gonna front. If we could just get our language together, because I know it's, and especially since it's been like 3, 4, 5 months since we've done these. I
Yeah,
love talking with you. I love when Source being is available and he could, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I
dude.
love when moves they gotta, when moves
Doc
got a
too,
couple of minutes.
but
You know what I
Source
mean? I
had me,
love when Doc.
dude.
I love this shit, man.
Source had me thinking here like that. That's why I like talking to the man. I create
Exactly,
questions.
because y'all make me think.
His talk creates questions in my head. I mean, and that's what I want in life. Like.
And you know what's beautiful, moves?
Mm.
You started it off in a small town, Kansas. Am I right?
No, Cali.
That's where you started. That's where you were born and raised.
No. I was born in Virginia, but raised in Cali.
Okay, so you were born in Virginia, which would be small to the big city slicker. Then you moved to the big city. Then you moved to what? New York.
I moved from Cali to Phoenix, and then
Big city.
Phoenix got old real quick because I was moving furniture in the Mojave Desert, and that just shit.
Oh my gosh.
So I called my boy up in South Bronx, and he had a spot, a room that I could
Yeah,
rent.
you did 3 big cities in a row, bro.
Yeah,
Let's just say that.
That was in 2000. And in 2001, April of 2001 to be exact, I moved back to California. And as you know,
Big city.
7 months later, 8 months later, the towers came down. And then no, it was 4 months later. And no, 5. Anyways, fucking my math is fucked up.
Right.
Yeah, so New York, then I went to Cali, then back to New York in 2006, and then 2009 Kentucky to now.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
it's been a long trip.
you've been coast to coast, just like Sauce Ben has been coast. I don't know his moves from between New York and Oregon, but I know he was everywhere, places I wouldn't be.
It's funny
And
because I made it through places that are cool and didn't even fucking know it. Like I didn't have to fuck with Staten Island.
yeah,
uh,
Staten Island.
Jamaica Queens was fucking nuts. Let's see
Yeah.
here. The South Bronx was pretty crazy, dude. Crows Avenue was.
Yeah, that was probably the worst place you were.
I think it was because I'm even in 2006 when New York was supposedly worse after 9/11. Um, I
I
wasn't
know the
kicking
drug
like
was
crack
the drug
vials.
game was great.
Yeah, dude, it was dying out. It was weird because I wasn't kicking crack vials and syringes on my way to work, on the sidewalks and shit.
Oh no,
And
because we switched from vials to baggies. That's why you weren't kicking vials. We
oh,
switched from vials to baggies,
see,
and we were selling baggies.
just shows my age right there. and,
No. I know
and
the
my
vials
and
because
my
I was with a
obliviousness at
team.
fucking
We
Timmy's
had pushed the
Bros.
vials because the vials are an illusion. I shouldn't even be talking about this. The vials are an illusion,
Hmm.
and we used to push the vial, but the vials are harder to hide. So for the most part, in the '90s, and they were called slabs. So
Uh-huh.
basically, once we moved to slabs, only certain teams would use vials, and I know I was a part of the Grand Blue vial team. And then when I left that team and went on my own, I went back to slabs because slabs are so much safer. Because
That's
vials you got to
crazy,
put
dude.
somewhere.
That's a
Huh?
whole fucking podcast in one night right there, man. I got fucking questions, bro.
Oh, I
Like,
might. You just
well,
wait.
it
You
was
just
the
get.
the
Let me hold up. Hold
CIA
up.
agent that gave you that
Hold up,
shit.
move. Hold up, move. I'm writing that down right now, man. Hold up. Don't
Yeah,
hold up. Hold up. Before I don't want to fucking lose this thought. From vials to
yeah.
slab, a drug dealer story. There you go. That's it right there, moves.
Fucking A, man. I got questions for that shit because, like, dude, at that moment, okay, yeah, because like, dude, there's a whole fucking mentality thing, man, and it's shared both ways, dude. Even as a professional rescuer or like a fucking drug addict, it's fucking weird. Yeah, you have to be careful in first responders, man, because like that all that thinking all at once, you got thousands of things to consider in each situation, and that gives you a buzz, bro. And it gives you an adrenaline rush or a dopamine hit like you wouldn't believe, and that is addictive. Some people really do have to step down from what they're doing, and they even know that they're really really good at it, and either take a break from it for a while or permanently. It'll fuck with your
You
head.
know,
So
that's how
yeah,
I feel
dude,
about the
that right there, those two worlds are kind of one and the same. You kind of start looking at the people the same, where it's like instead of I'm gonna save this person's life, okay, it's just nothing but symptoms. They're bleeding from this part, stop bleeding there. It's weird. Anyways, like I said, you have a whole other podcast that you could talk about shit like that.
Nah, you know what's funny? I'm gonna have sauce on that one too, because I mean he never saw me sell crack, but he know I was selling that white, the soft white. And yeah, it's funny. He saw that shit. I used to take sauce to school with me when I was going to college.
Holy
I used to take sauce to school and even
yeah,
put
but
him on with one of my friends.
dude, that's the craziest shit because, like I always say, man. I mean, like that's one of the educational moments on the block when I was living over on 117 was like, how that business brought business all the way up to 117th, and it was all downtown, man. Like stockbrokers, doctors, you name it, and like cops and fucking you name it, like name a walk of life, and they were there in Harlem trying to find that shit.
Yo, I mean, I ain't gonna front, man. I love the fact I'm glad I was born in New York because it feels like I aged like 70 years in New York mentally.
Yeah,
So when people ask me like, "Yo, you ever think about moving back to New York?" I tell them, "Hell no, I already did 70 years there," which in fact I only did like 30 something there. But
yeah,
that's my life. Like that's
long enough.
most of my life is New York. So coming
Yeah.
down here is like, man, I'm trying to relax. I don't want to have to think on my feet every 10 seconds because New
Well,
York is fast.
I got a piece of advice for all our listeners out there, man, and then I got to cut it out because I got to be at work tomorrow. But
Yeah,
I
I
don't
got one
know
more.
who said this. I don't know who said this, it was like a list of pieces of advice, and one of the pieces of advice that this guy listed was, in life, you want to live in New York and leave before you're too hard, and in life, you want to live in California but leave before you're too soft. And honestly, like I have lived the best of both worlds. Raised in farm country. Like by the time dude, I was
You had a
all the
good
way up to
education.
16 years old, dude. I was running barefoot through fucking orchards and cornfields and you name it, man. I mean, it was like country living. It was, there was nothing like it, man. I sat on my house rooftop and watched sunsets and fucking, dude, something straight out of a Mark Twain fucking novel. No bullshit. Got to live that. And not even knowing, what the world I had around me, I saw that I didn't have many options. It wasn't during the digital age. Yeah, I couldn't just hop online and find jobs. So I decided to move to New York City, and I figured, the more populous, the more businesses, the more opportunity. And
Yeah.
yeah, dude, I'm telling you, in 2000, I fucking money was just falling off the fucking trees out there, man. I mean, like
Yeah,
you
'cause you could just walk up to businesses and offer your services.
absolutely, like and the crazy part about it is, like, businesses were looking for the work ethic of a country boy or country guy,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just show up, learn your job, do your
Or a
job,
Mexican,
clock
no
out, go
disrespect.
home. You do that and you show up on time, guess what? We'll pay out the ass for that because everybody we hire is not showing up on time or not learning their job or what. And it was just like, oh, fucking, I was raking in the money. It was
Now,
just,
keep it. Now to piggy off what you saying, I'm gonna let you continue.
yeah,
They
no,
wonder
please.
why certain people at certain businesses, you sit there like, man, you've been a driver for this company for so long. Yeah, you don't know he started from the bottom and he's not making what a normal driver makes. Them other drivers that they hired, they don't make what that man makes. That man's been
Nope.
down for whatever amount of years, or that doorman, or that this man. Like when it's a private company, they treat you the way they want to. It's private.
Yeah,
So
see,
it's
like
like,
when I went from first responder to the blue collar, I went blue collar hardcore, man. I was like, man, if I'm not going to make the money that a rescuer is going to make, because they make a lot of money, they make a fuck ton of money, and they deserve it. But at the same time, um, if I was going to do that, I'm going to work my ass off, and I did. And I moved furniture for 15 years. At the end of the day, and I was foreman for two of the top three moving companies in New York City. And because I busted my ass, dude, I had access into every fucking building in that city. You pick one, the Dakota building, the where John Lennon was shot, to fucking, oh no, yeah, the Dakota building. Then you got the El Dorado, the fucking Empire State Building, Liberty Street, all down Liberty Street, dude. I did fucking jobs, and it was simply because I busted my ass, and didn't ask any questions, just said yes. And yeah, made a living, decent living, lived there right there in Manhattan, right there in Harlem. So, it's it is what it is. It's not that anymore, And as soon as I saw it not being that anymore, I moved the fuck out and I found this place, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm staying here, man. It's quiet here. I don't have to worry about. I'll be looking over my shoulder when I walk home. I fucking, you know.
you've adapted.
Well, yeah, and
That's how I feel too, though. That's how I feel down here. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I live in the exact opposite of hustle and bustle. So I get it, bro. I get it. I
Yeah.
definitely get it. I've been down here for 11 years. I get it, brother. I
I ain't gonna
definitely.
lie, I miss the grind. I mean, like handling it, and you got all those plates spinning at the same time. Everything's fucking working its way. Like you're functioning. You know, like uh, I don't remember so many days my world wasn't functioning, but as many days as I had my world functioning in the biggest city in the United States. You know, that's one thing that you fellas ought to be proud of is being, if you're born and raised in New York City, you're born in the largest city of opportunities there is, you know, and
Yeah, I've always been thankful for that.
you know, it's weird, man. I had to get away from it to see, like, fuck, dude. I like, okay, like for instance, okay, I start off homeless in California. I would move to a place and give myself a year to get a roof over my head, a decent job, you know, and a decent living. And if that didn't happen, I'd move the fuck on. And in California, everything's all fucking spread out. So if you want to apply to 10 businesses, no, you don't walk like maybe 10 blocks or 5 blocks. No, man. You got to walk like 3 miles, 5 miles, 8 miles to the spots you want to fucking apply to. Fucking crazy. So yeah. Do I appreciate the compactness and the living in New York and how it functions? Yeah, but it is what it is, man. Sorry, I'm long-winded.
No, that's all good. I know you said you were about to but I know I'm about to shit. I'm
Oh
about to
yeah.
play another video based on
Oh
police
no,
corruption.
I gotta go. So, yeah, live in California, leave before you're too soft. Live in New York and leave before you're too hard. Ladies and gentlemen, I do gotta call it a good night. I'm sorry, I'm throwing the flag right now. I'm moving it 15 yards back.
Nah, I appreciate you coming out, Moves. Definitely appreciate you, man. Hopefully we'll be back next week or something.
No, it's source. It's always good. Always good to talk with you, man. And y'all be good or be good at it. I'm out.
All right,
All right.
brother. Hold it down. Yo, Sauce, you got
You can
any
hear me?
word? Yeah. I hear you, brother.
Okay. Yeah, man, it's nice chatting it up, man. About that video from I'm assuming that's what the show was about, right? The video with if we think that that guy had a right to
Yeah.
shoot, what's his name or whatever. I mean, it had a right to I don't think he had a right to. I mean, yeah, okay, he had a right because naturally you could do it, right? If you could do something, you could do it. But
Right.
as far as the law is concerned, I think that he should have got arrested, and you know, the corruption and the fact that they didn't want to air it out, it shows that the people are taking agency against the, you know, the civilians, right? And the people, the agency is basically corrupt or committed a form of treason because the people is, you know, it's a nation for the people by the people. So yeah,
Right.
but you know, it's like the problem I have with this country, bro, on some real shit. And here's the thing, because I don't, you know, I don't dabble in race theology and back and forth and all that shit. I don't spend time on that shit. I used to when I was younger, you know, I used to do all that, you know. But
Right.
where I'm at right now, I be making babies with these people. So, you know, I don't really be looking at that particular angle. And you realize that racism that's actually exercised and practiced by people are usually done by people who don't get no pussy, right? And then they might have, you know, they might have like daughters. So they might teach their little girls, but if you really think about, if you ever look at a video of a Karen interacting with a black man, you actually looking at a horny white woman who don't know how to properly interact with him. Like if you really observe it, like watch the body language, watch the demeanor, the
Yeah,
eyes,
I'm gonna
right?
do that because that's
A
interesting.
lot of people don't do that. So it's because she don't have fathers or brothers who prepped her to deal with the particular mate that she was designed for. Because most of these small towns, um, they're going through critical mass. Remember, I talked about that before, right? And every
Right.
political issue, anything you talk about that's wrong about the nation, it goes back to that, the biology of things. The system of things is biology, right? So, freaking, you know, if you dealing with these small towns, you're usually dealing with people that can't process information because they're just the same bloodline and they were just been living in like sort of like a mirror, right? An echo chamber. You see what I'm saying? Of ideology, even the way they physically process food. I bet you if they fart, it smells similar. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you can take them to another place and give them something from somewhere else, and they'll still process it the same way, right? Because they like densely that. That's why, um, you know, the problem I was saying about America in most cases is that people are just a bunch of inbreds who can't process information, and so they don't even know when they're doing something right or wrong, man. And it's just like we just trapped in this shit until we get that science out there where people understand, yo, it's time to like stop being the same kind of people over and over and over in these little small pockets, and then be arguing about how the nation is crumbling because you get all these immigrants that come in, and then the immigrants do the same thing because you got the racist group of people who've been holding on to all this power for so long, right? And they didn't mate with the people who they took the stuff from in the first place enough to like blend back in. You get what I'm saying? Because
No, I got
the
you.
like the kind
It's
of
funny,
people
but
that was the kind of indigenous people that this land was stolen from, they don't war with you because they're genetically superior to most people. So you have to mate with them, or you're just gonna be in this time loop of warring and playing games, and it will never change. But you're not gonna conquer them. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you're just gonna be. I don't know how to explain it right now, but it's too much to like sort of condense right now because I haven't been talking about this thing. My brain hasn't been angled this way, except because now I'm talking to you. So,
nah, you
yeah.
good. Yo, Brody, you good. I'm not ending. I know you thought I might have been ending. I ain't ending yet. I want to at least play these two more vids,
Hmm.
and I want to show like this one right here. It has nothing to do with police, but you can see
Yeah.
the word at the bottom. If you can, it says racist. Now this right here was like, I mean, I was just scrolling and I came across it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep this. I just have to keep this, and I'm glad I
Yeah.
have a reason to use it now. Here you go.
Racist?
With all due respect, sir,
Hold on.
Are you a racist?
with all due respect, sir, I'm here to talk about the essential work that nonprofits do.
Excuse me, that's a very simple question. Yes or no question. Are you a racist?
I'm not a racist.
You're not a racist. Particularly interesting because according to one of your affiliate charities under your nonprofit umbrella, denial of racism constitutes covert white supremacy. Are you a covert white supremacist?
Sir, I'm here to talk about the essential work that nonprofits
Are you a covert white supremacist?
Can I talk about the work that nonprofits do?
No, I'm asking you if you're a covert white supremacist, which according to one of your own organizations, again, denial of racism constitutes covert white supremacy. Would you like to answer the question?
I don't know what the question is.
So you refuse to answer whether you are a covert white supremacist.
I am here to talk about the essential work that nonprofits do. If you'd like to ask me,
I am utterly dumbfounded. You are on record right now, and you will not say that you are not a covert white supremacist.
I don't have a definition in front of me. I haven't looked at the definition. I'm not going to answer a question about my personal. I'm here to talk about the work.
You're not
nonprofit organization.
I want to give you one more chance to do this. Are you a covert white supremacist?
Why are we so off track from the topic?
No, I'm asking you a very straightforward question.
I've heard your question. Thank you, sir.
And you're not going to answer whether you are a covert white supremacist.
I would like to answer questions about the work of nonprofit organizations. Thank you.
That is really, really astounding. I can answer very directly that I am not a covert white supremacist, and I imagine all of my colleagues can as well. I think you ought to reevaluate what you're doing in the nonprofit sector. If you can't answer that in a straightforward way, that is astounding. Are you a racist?
Yo, brother, you heard it. You heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, like that has nothing to do with the Constitution or anything, because the Constitution protects a covert white supremacist. It actually does. Yeah, you have the right to be whatever you are, but that goes psychologically. See, I always go back to psychological things because I
Mhm.
went. That's what I went to school for. I wanted to work in a fucking group home. But that's what it all boils down to me. Like, if you know something is wrong, then you're not gonna admit to wanting to do it. Like, if I still picked my nose like I did when I was 5, I wouldn't want to admit to that right now because I know that's a disgusting act.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, so.
Yeah.
And it's like you catch these like you couldn't answer that question. Did it hurt that much? You didn't want to answer it. Like you couldn't even lie and say no.
And she was smirking too. See, that's
That was crazy. I had to put that here, bro. I had to.
yeah, man. She got babies with her own family.
And you know what? I can kind of get where you're coming from with that. Because in order to keep the same ideology, you got to deal with the same people. And as people are growing around you, mentally, intellectually, you trying to keep up the same. That's why I say conservative, being conservative, because I am mostly conservative. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I am. I believe in the family. I believe in tradition, but my tradition is not, hey, only one gonna be dealing with my sister is gonna be me, or like, craziness. Like I'm no, I believe in the regular tradition, mother, father, children. I'm not a man who believes in, I'm not a religious man. I'll say that. But, my wife she's not religious, but she's spiritual. Let's say that. So, it's a way of doing shit. And I'm just, nah. Like, it's like, whatever. I'm not with, and, some conservative people, they're conservative in the way their tradition is 1850. Or if not 1850, 1950. Same thing. Damn near. So, there's different kinds of conservatives. So, I'm the one that just believes in family and tradition and the man going out to hunt, the women putting everything together, the kids learning from both. And shit, I'm not ashamed. So it's my fault. I ain't even know you were I ain't even know you had left. My
Nah,
fault, bro.
something I didn't even leave, man. Something keep happening with a screen keep freezing. But I got like a super phone, you know what I mean? My thing got like 18 gigabytes of RAM, so I don't know why this thing is acting up like that.
No, it's also a new streaming service, so I'm glad it
Oh, okay.
hasn't done it for me because I know on when I use my iPad, not iPad, excuse me, I don't want people to think I'm a Apple person. I'm Android all day. How about that? But my tablet
Yeah.
when I use my tablet, it kicks me off. So I haven't been using my tablet, but it is the new streaming service. So, but so far I ain't gonna front. I like it, and I'm rolling up. That's why it took me so long to realize that you weren't on.
Nah,
And I was
yeah,
talking
I'm
while.
rolling up too, man. Shit.
So hold up, since we rolling up, I'm gonna play this video, and it goes along with the police being dirty because it's about an officer who she tried to frame an innocent dude and she got caught up. And she deserves everything that happens to her. Let me make sure this is good. Because that's just like they have too much. Here you go.
Yeah, so yo, basically the oh
I'd like to file a complaint on him.
What happened, bro?
yeah, I was gonna say the drift of my point, like to simplify my point that I was trying to make with Woos from initially was that I don't want to concern myself with the public safety of police officers. I want to concern myself
Officer
because right
safety. I
now
don't
they're
care about
leveraging
officer
too
safety
much
either.
media clout. Yeah. And I'm not supposed to care because that's the government. Once you take a job as the government, you're transformed into the thing that we need to suppress and keep under control. Now, because you take that spirit, you want to be in control. You want to have some sort of authority. So the trick is, how do we deal with a spirit that wants to be the Luciferian of existence, right? So this is why we created the American system, the policies and the rhetoric of it. Is to capture people who want to dominate. And so we know who you are because you want to sign up to be the person who seemingly has this visible power. But the arc is you didn't know that there's specifics. Yeah, you can't just go around. You saw that cop arresting people and you saw that he has a gun, but guess what?
Oh man, I lost. All right, I get what I see. But I know he'll be back, and I'll be here ready to bring him back on. But the way things are now is horrible, and these officers, these entities of the government, of the state, of the city, they are abusing the people instead of serving the people. Now, yeah, you have cases where some of them, where they serve somebody, but listen. All right, here you go. Here goes Sauce Bean. Go ahead, Sauce.
Yeah, I'm back, bro.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
yo, it's like, yeah, the point I was making is that people forget that when they take on the title of statesman of some sort, right?
Right,
Now you have announced to the universe that you are the thing or the agency that now we have to put check against and check and balances. That's what it's like. It enticed you to go where you think you're going to get the power over the people, right? Now you're there, and the truth is, you expose yourself. You're a fucking demon. You're Satan. Pardon. I
nah, you good.
um,
That's that word ain't so
but
bad.
people don't understand, like, Satan is like an ancient word for government too, so that's why I said that, right?
I agree with you. I
Also, the
agree.
Luciferian as aspect to it is light bearer, right? You want to be the person who exposes what justice is,
Right,
right? So you set yourself up on a throne. That's what you become, the president. So the president is always the Lucifer, right? And the sides, whether it's Democrat politics or whatever, that's always like demons and principality, right?
right,
And you set yourself up to become the Lucifer. You believe that you could oppose God, who's really whoever is in power anyway at that time, right? You think that you could oppose that energy, that leadership energy, and bring in your own thing. What the problem is that you got there and you're now the servant basically, and you realize God was the people all along, right? So people like that, they don't want to acknowledge that God was the people all along, so they're just gonna keep on taking power from people because now they're on the other side, you know.
right,
And that's why certain jobs, this whole thing about, if you could be whatever you want, that's human ability. Anything you think you are expert of, that's fucking human ability. You don't, you're not, you're only sanctioned because some groups of humans, right, basically are saying that some groups of humans don't have authority in this particular set of actions or behaviors, right?
mm,
And they hijack behaviors, literally they hijack behaviors and copyright behaviors, right?
right,
And they own it basically, and then they make you sign and swear oaths into it, but they still own it. So, and then they give you a host of procedures, because if you want to be going around arresting people or enforcing laws, if you're not one of them, you can become liable for damages, or you could be whatever, right? But in reality, that's just anybody anyway. The problem is, the reason why it seems like it's not just anybody anyway is that they don't enforce those things, those rules within the agencies. You see what I'm saying? So, like, a bunch of cops go around performing a search warrant, right? If your neighbor, if you live in a neighborhood where you know all the people and they tell you, hey man, this nigga Rock came in your house and we saw him And look, Lisa got him on the smartphone because she was making a video of a birthday party, and you happen to have him in the background going in your yard taking your shit, right?
Right.
You go knock on his door, you take your stuff, but he decided he didn't like you anyway, so he want to fight you to prove that you pussy, but he's still giving you your stuff back, right? But you like, nah, I don't want to fight you. I got my stuff. I'm walking away. So he grab you, you push him. The cop was coming, right? By the time the cop get out the car, everybody knows him. They broke it up. They pulling him back in the house. Here come the cop talking about he want to arrest people. You get what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
it's like problem solved, but here come right. So this is the type of stuff that people be dealing with that people don't like to unpack, because there's some people who really are attached to police in this country by biological premises. Doesn't matter how they try to play it off like, well, you know, we're all taxpayers, we're all citizens, we are all one. There is a more dense biological premise for why they support it more so than other people. Like if I'm a purple person and majority of the people who have power within a matrix called policing is purple, right?
Mhm.
And you got orange people. It doesn't. I'm as a purple person, I'm going to feel as though if orange people are constantly complaining, I might even start finding ways to justify that their complaining is bullshit and they're just criminals or whatever.
Right.
And I'll start. But what end up happening is now you're and this, and let me just outright say, white people do tend to feel like you know, Negroes are just that's why they have this thing called black fatigue now, right? That's the whole new thing now. These Negroes are just complaining, they running their mouth, they just criminals, lazy, they don't want to work hard. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't know any of those stereotypical people in reality, because every stereotype that I've ever heard about anybody, I've met the person.
I'd like to follow up on
Shit, my fault. My fault.
as an empty.
It's all good.
Go ahead, go ahead,
It's
go
all
ahead,
good.
go ahead, go ahead. No,
And
because you were. I like what you were calling.
and, and so basically you got a nation of people who come from people who really did actually straight up steal land, right? Not only that, wiped out, basically created these wars that basically allowed for them to back end and come and attack people's camps while the men were out, and you know, basically just erase a whole history of people. And the people still here, they told them they came from all kinds of other countries and shit. They even separated them and pack, you know, just whatever. The bottom line is, a lot of Europeans came here at one point in time, and some of them were actually slaves where they were coming from, that actually got on boats and were trying to escape and stuff. But once they got here, they became agencies, right? They take up agencies. Like one of the 13 colonies, or I'm this and that. So they got these agencies and basically overpower people who weren't necessarily agency because they were just living indigenously. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you know, your bloodline lives here because we found a river first or whatever, and so we was just living here the whole time. But we also know that there's tribes that need the water, so we don't you know, block up the river, because then they'll come war with us. So it's just like a natural flow of things, right? It didn't need to be remember, you're dealing with oracle people. The more darker the tribes is, the more oracle they are. They're not sitting there writing shit down. Most things that were written in ancient times were for the outsiders to learn, right? Or for, you know, different tribes of people. But yeah, the people that came here, they run this country, they call it America, and they did in fact steal land from people, and they did in fact move people out of their homes. And you know, they did in fact create a whole new education system that taught their kids that that wasn't the case,
Right.
right? Or taught their kids that, oh, so that's in fact what happened. Even now, the average person who could read and write knows that, even though they won't tell you that. And white people can have the instinct if they didn't read it in a book somewhere, or they were just like, they know that, right? But the thing about it is that they weren't giving people the rights of citizenship that were indigenous and dark skinned, right? So they didn't give them citizenship rights.
True.
And so they had the pressure from those people and the fights from those people, like Gula Wars and all that shit, all that stuff basically was pressuring them to make it look and sound nice and include people and to humanize people. But the truth was, it was never the intention. All the good stuff that the Constitution have, right? They never intended to apply it to dark skinned people, right? And so as over time the dark skinned people put pressure on them,
Talk to
and they started applying. They started applying it. So when you talking to the average white person, I don't care how much they are educated and smart. Sometimes you gotta, like, for me, this is just my perspective, is that, and I'm saying this as what people call a theta, right? Because I'm not necessarily, like, my mom's is Trinidadian, my dad is Colombian, right?
right.
So like so it's like when they hear me say that, they usually think I'm like the FBA that they want to, the FBA protagonist in their story of, this guy's just a troublemaker, whatever. But I'm really, just able to say that because I live somewhere else, and I'm also part indigenous there, but I'm also part African. So I know the difference between an African person that's black and an indigenous person that's black. I could tell the difference because there's different partitions of Negroes, different type of nigga shit in my family. You get what I'm saying? From on the Caribbean that I bear witness to. Like, I know African niggas in my family, and then I know indigenous niggas, right? They call them Arawaks and Carib and shit like that, right? Yeah, so similar to what people thought the word Taino used to mean, right? Like Taino, like Indians that's just in the Caribbean, people that's from there. And then the other thing is to know is that they did send a bunch of indigenous Indians that they scooped up from certain places in the 13 colonies at some point in time in history. They shipped them to the Caribbean to work sugarcane fields.
Okay.
And if you go there now, there's only two types of people that might be Indians in Trinidad. The Indians from India and these Negro looking people that are from there. You get what I'm saying?
So you mean like the coolies?
Yeah. Right. So like if you go in the Caribbean, there's it, and you say, I want to see an Indian person. Most people will just refer you to talking about an Indian from India. Right. If you say, if you ask, if the person is educated and they're aware that, oh, you could be also talking about a native Indian, they'll point you to these group of people they call Arawaks or Carib Indians that look like black people, that pretty much look like African Americans.
I got what you mean. I got you.
You get what I'm saying? So, and I'm related to all of those, but I'm also here too, right? And I also had a versatile existence here where I've been around a bunch of FBAs, and then a lot of my Caribbean family married into them. And here's the other key thing to know: just in my maternal side of the family, right? And I'm sharing my experience because my dad died before I was born. I just know he's Colombian, and my genetics trace. I got a bunch of relatives all over, sprinkled through South America. But basically, what I experienced is that I do know grandparents and their aunties, and I've met grand aunties and great grands and stuff like that. And I've met how some people know their grandmother, but they don't know their grandmother's brother, stuff like that. I actually got to meet like my grandmother's sister, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And on both sides of like my grandparents from my mother's side. So like my grandmother, I met her mother, and I met my grandfather's mother as well. Right. So I got to meet, a bunch of these old people that over the years, and I pay attention because I always knew that I wasn't their kid. My brother had his dad. I had to live with them. So I always paid attention to any story that I was hearing about anything. And now that I think about it, I got family in the Caribbean and the line is going down from St. Lucia to Grenada to like Barbados to Trinidad, whatever, right? As you go down south, coming, right? I have family that when I listen to them talk, they actually said things like, when I was growing up in the Carolinas or whatever, and they really were talking about America. And then, so basically, if people really paid attention to their old Caribbean family members, they'll realize some of these people lived in America in a time prior,
Right.
like, and they moved to St. Croix as a base, as a port. So you'll have family in that place. Yeah. Or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know how it goes, but something like that. That was a main place. And then Haiti was a main port. It used to be like this lavish place, like back in the 1800s and 1700s. So this whole slavery story from Africa to the Middle Passage is kind of like, it's sort of, there's no like tangibility to it other than a story, but like, I just can't think of any of my family telling me, oh yeah, this and that. But you could hear stories about attempts of colonization,
Right.
Like for example, my grandfather always told me they did not conquer Africa. They're attempting to do it. They're just telling you the stories that they did.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because when you conquer something, the people there just don't look like you. Now, you want to know what is proof of conquering? You know where it was conquered? North America was conquered because there's a lot of land formations where people just look white. You get what I'm saying?
True.
You don't have nowhere in the continent of Africa a population of people that's just white, that's so dense and so immensely vast that they could control all of the land. You get what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, definitely.
It's not true. You get what I'm saying? But now you come to America, you got Oregon. Oregon is predominantly white. And if you at the mercy, if the white people don't want to give you jobs, you're not gonna get a job out here, right? You know, um, and if you get one, you're not gonna keep it if they don't want you to keep it. So, even if you are a good employee, right? Because there's no real umbrella to protect niggas here, other than you happen to meet some people who ain't trying to go hard, right? But yeah, it's the same for white people in South Africa. You know, don't let people this whole idea that Africa got conquered by Europe is it's just nonsense,
Oh
man.
no, I
America
never
got
believed
conquered.
that.
You know, America is the place that's being under, and I wouldn't even say it got conquered. It's under duress because um America has always been a mixing plate for mixing breeding of people like that. That's the purpose it served in the entire program that we call life. Because life is a program, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, right? Like Bill Gates don't exist just arbitrarily for nothing. He exists so stupid people who are mixed up with people sometimes, and when the world is shaken up, it needs to change, right? So it has to align people who are the intelligent grafters of humanity to be able to move and go somewhere to safety so it can then grind up the other people and make oil or whatever the fuck out of them, right? So a Bill Gates character is just somebody who exists to satisfy the that spectrum by masterminding the frequency and putting it out there. So all the idiots are like, yeah, I would do the vaccine thing, right? Boom. Now we got him. Now that's a beacon for everybody else who's paying attention, right? And who's living to be like, okay, go this direction. You get what I'm saying? So like, I hope I ain't mixing everything up and confusing people. It's like I'm still trying to make the same point that Americans are going through basically a time loop where they're just trapped because they're not reproducing properly, right? And the people who supposed to be getting fucked and breed into, they're still staying the same and trying to hold on to this illusion of being the right, being the owners of America through hard work and dedication. And in reality, they're just slowing down humanity by stealing spaces and action and copywriting it and trying to own behaviors and own psychology and shit and own creations and own. Yo, these motherfuckers be trying to own cures for diseases and shit.
Because everything is about
You
money.
know,
Doc had said that earlier, man. When you look at the bottom line,
and
it's
and,
all
and
about
I refuse. Yeah, and I'm sorry to cut you off, bro, but I really refuse to just keep on even permitting the dialogue of black on black violence when white on white violence. Alexander, I'm on the phone real quick. I'll come talk to you real quick, okay? Yeah, when like when white on white violence far supersedes whatever we talking about, we're dealing with as a black people, if you really pay attention, because
right.
all the medications is geared to kill people, and they're the ones that have more access to it, right? People be thinking, oh, when you talk to a pro-black person, they be like, yeah, they be giving themselves placebos. No, that's in certain zip codes where they are the majority of, but the majority of their people are getting the same poison you get, right? So realistically, we do. I believe that we're living with people who are so suicidal and that they forgot that we're all God. Peace. You know what I mean? And so they're constantly playing this game of life and death with us. And then we're starting to have amnesia too, and it's just been happening for eternity. Well, I gotta, to explain it in more detail, you gotta have like a special show for that, man, because it's really simple to understand, but it's just like I don't know if some people's minds are physically made up to even be able to let the light of the information trickle through, you know?
No, I got you, bro. I got you.
I know
But
you
before
got
I
it, man. Hmm.
no, go ahead.
You know,
Are
it's
you
like,
good?
yeah, I'm good, man. I'll save some stuff so we can talk later, man. Because
Oh
you know,
no, nah, we
I
good. I'm chilling. Like I'm here. I got two more videos. One of them is like 9 minutes, and I believe it's
Mhm.
this one. I don't know. But it's basically going back to the show, like going back to the police and you as a
Right,
person needing to know, and like it's crazy. You learn this shit in high school, but you might not take it serious. You learn it enough so you can pass. But they teach you
right,
about the Constitution. They teach you about your rights, and it's called government
right.
or U.S. history or what's the other word? Social studies. They teach you about these things,
Hmm.
and if you don't use them, you lose them. I ain't gonna front. That's basically the point of Sean Paul Reyes, a Magan set press.
Yes.
Eli, the people. If you don't flex your muscles, you lose your muscles, and your muscles are your rights. If you don't know that the First Amendment,
Yo, hey,
say again that
yo, you know what I noticed on the internet a lot lately, bro? And it's not bots, because I know how to tell a bot from a person. I noticed a lot of people would look at a video where a cop just violated somebody, right? Straight up violated
right?
him, right? A stop that has no legal premise, but they'll be like, "Well, if you would just talk to the cop
No,
respectfully,
it's my right to not.
deal with it after, go to court." But yeah, if it's your right to not, how about? And this is the extreme truth about the matter. If a cop violates me illegally and I'm aware of it, technically I could deem him as a threat to me. And so in reality, but you should be able to beat that in court. But you know why you won't beat it in court, bro? Even though you're right. Like if a cop violates me, right? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. My registration is good. I'm aware of it. I'm driving within the speed limit, right? I even have a camera just recording just for the hell of it, and I'm aware all these things are true, right?
Right.
And he just pulls me over, and he says, "Hey, get out the car." I'm like, "No, I don't want to get out the car. What did you pull me over for?" That's a lawful order. Why?
Yeah.
It's a lawful order. He's not even explaining this shit. Just saying it's a lawful order. Just saying these little cliche
Exactly.
lines. It's a
You,
lawful
you right
order,
on the point, bro.
right?
Get your shit,
Um,
bro.
it's like bruh. At this moment, I could think you're drunk or you're high because you're a person in uniform. That means you can even be a fake
Right.
cop. I should be able to call 911 right then and there and say, "Hey, there's a guy who's in uniform. I do not know if he's legitimately a police officer or not. Somebody need to come check this out." But if I go pull my phone out there, he pulls his gun. "Don't fucking move!" Now he's like aiming his gun at me. If I have a weapon of choice that I have that he doesn't have awareness of, I should be able to use it. And because I have a camera, they're clearly gonna see it that he did all that I say, and he did threaten me, and he didn't have a legal premise, and I shot him, and he's dead because I was feared for my life. Guess what these fucking idiots gonna do? The
They're
jury.
gonna tell
The
you it's
jury is
there.
gonna listen to the opening statement. Right, the jury, because guess who the jury is? These fucking idiot oafs who happen to be more closely biologically tied to the the cops. Now, here's where I go to explain that it's not even racism; it's beyond racism. It's just biology. It's just a matrix, right? It's mathematically sound. You could actually measure it. A bunch of people who happen to be white. We just use the word white again, right? Because there could be a metrics to go beyond using these words. We probably could identify the people who have this much grams of this thing in their DNA, right? Might be people, you know, more in tune to say, "Hey, we're going to send you to jail," because even though, right? Because this is the type of opening statements the defense might make, right? The not the defense, the DA might
Right.
make. They might say, "Well, even though there was no legitimate reason for the stop, you don't have the right to shoot at officers. It's not, there's no defense case against self-defense against an officer,
Right.
whatever, right?"
Yeah.
He might say some silly shit, and it might be a policy or ordinance, but it doesn't trump self-defense of life for any creature that's alive. Any creature that has the ability to defend itself should defend itself. And if a man is stopping you at 3 o'clock in the morning and he's telling you something that's a lawful order that you yourself, you accurately know is not a lawful order, right?
Right.
You have a right to kill him. It doesn't matter if he has a uniform on and flashing lights. This is the truth. And everybody instinctively knows. White Americans know this shit, bro. But they don't want to admit it, right? In general, you're not going to find them admitting it in general. And that bothers me because it tells me that they're not genetically in tune with everybody else enough to be aware, so that they're enclosed, they're going through, they don't have enough family in the world to understand how that's stupid, right? That means they believe the cops are their family more than the regular people. You get what I'm saying?
You hitting the nail on the head. And this right here, and you don't
So
even understand, bro. Like I've been watching these videos and they've become a part of my algorithm. And all I find myself soon, I might find myself on a list of something because I've been putting these cops need to be off. These cops need to be deleted. These cops need to be, but most of them.
and this is why, yeah. And this is why, yo, and you know what, bro? I'll be on the same shit mentally, because I'm not gonna sit here and say, yo, I had bad runners with cops. I'm not going out here telling people, yo, fuck the cops. I don't even say that anymore. My whole position is I'm not even going to be on the political side of the nigger versus the police argument either. I'm not going to do none of that shit because that I'm not going to present my energy to that publicly. Period. My whole agenda is if you kill my child and I have to watch it on tape or find out that if you like, because saying I see put it like this: if you kill my child, period, that's the end. I mean, delete my child, period, that's the end. But if it's on tape and you get away with it,
That's
because guess what happens if somebody does delete my child? My child, somebody deletes my child, chances are they're gonna get caught and they're gonna go to jail. I'll go to court, I might cry in the background. If I choose to murder,
Right.
delete, that's on me, right? That's on me. But guess what? The state garners justice. They found the perpetrator. They said, "Hey, man, he deleted, he canceled the child of such and such," right? So that gives me a sense of civility.
Right.
Yes, my son was off, but society said, "Hey, we got your back. We caught the perpetrator. Here's the evidence. We went through the ritual of due process. He's going to jail, where he would most likely, because of culture, meet a very bad end, right? Right? Especially if it was a child. And I have the awareness that other men, human men, will feel that way too because it was a child, right? It's just a matter of awareness. Again, I have the right to trigger that by writing to some random inmate in the same place and saying, hey, and if they find out I did that, then I could be held liable as well, right? Or I could just leave it alone and let it happen naturally, right? That's all on me. But now to watch a cop kill my child,
Right.
or to watch children that look just like me get killed by cops, in some cases, yeah, it was some young dude wilding out. Some, but not the majority. The majority, it's really just a cop over exaggerating, or overextending, overreaching, and then he just killed you. And then nothing happened to him. This is why I would not, he has to disappear, period. Him or whoever he cares about the most has to disappear. And this is my
That would
stand,
be
and this is my
justice.
stand that I will
That's
promote.
your
I will
brand of
promote individual men taking justice into their own hands where the justice system have clearly failed them. If a jury of people could look at a cop stop you illegally and think, well, because he's a cop, you shouldn't have shot him and send you to jail. When you come home from
That's
jail,
called the
you
time to
have
kill.
every right to find those jury
They made a movie about it.
or find that cop and do that. That's how I feel. So me personally, I carry a spirit of
Oh
revenge.
no, they made a movie about it.
I
Samuel L. Jackson, Matthew McConaughey,
yeah,
Sandra Bullock. It's called The Time to Kill.
you not you not about to catch me trying to destroy the country that provides the blanket of billions of more people worse than these idiots that I've been familiar with, right?
Right.
I'm not going to destroy that blanket. That's what these people don't understand. So even though invaders are here invading, there's people who also want to invade too, because there's a magic to this land. It's not just about white and black. It's about the land, right? And what it represents and the position it is on in the terrain. So people want it. These invaders, we're familiar with them. It's time to start turning the invaders into family by breeding with them conscientiously for a certain purpose. The other thing about it is if you don't do that, the protection that these invaders have created for themselves, by default it becomes your protection too, because you're a matriarchal body. You get what I'm saying? They're the invaders. They're coming in like sperm cells. So as soon as you deal with them, another group, maybe the Asians or whatever, because they done messed up their whole matriarchal, they gonna come in too. Who knows? But you can't have a society where everybody is just staying in these pockets for like 10 and 6 cycles and think you're gonna get justice, especially if the people who have, who's the majority of the cops or whatever, or has been the same generation. Once somebody start telling me generation after generation of families or people, that doesn't make me, because it doesn't make me feel secure, because that's capped up to the 1700s anyway. It's not like it's thousands of years. If you would tell me something like thousands of years, then I'll be like, I'll think it's genetic and it's absolutely something written into the code of your DNA. I mean, everything is, but this is so much entrenched that you just can't get rid of it. I could be a firefighter tomorrow if you teach me enough. I could be a cop tomorrow if you teach me enough. What you got to teach me really is certain processes to evade liability, because most of the Constitution and the law, I get it, is built into my body. I know when I'm violating somebody.
Right.
Everybody knows when they're violating somebody, including the inbreds. But it's like they don't want to, and they don't want to stop, and they're not going to stop. And the only way to make them stop is to not allow them to be alive anymore. And since you can't politically do anything about it because they're not going to stop, because they're always going to put themselves in political power, you have to. You're not a warring tribe. You're not prepared to go do on it. You gotta take individual steps. If people are deleting your family member and they're getting away with it on TV, that's on your family. I feel like as long as Trayvon Martin's family ain't do nothing, we shouldn't care about that as collectives of black people, because all we're doing is just trying to destroy our peace, whatever little peace we do have. Right? You're fanning the flame. You're wasting your time. If it's the same principle. Remember how I applied the warrant situation to the principle your brother Move was making, right? Um, it's the same thing. If you take a person and you you argue with the person, you're basically attacking the person. An argument is an attack, right? But it's like layers to it. Like, damn, I lost my point, bro. I was going somewhere, man. I need to smoke some more.
Nah, you good. But no. But I wanted to play this video because shit, we knocking on
Play the video, brother. Play the
we
video.
knocking on almost 3.5 hours. I'm gonna play this video. It's like 9 minutes,
You should.
and it's an officer on the stand, atoning for the bull that she did, and she tries to lie, but yeah, we gonna see the bull.
Bottle in Riley's car before arresting him for an alleged DUI.
I'm Officer Kirsten Oliver. I'm a police officer at the Tallahassee Police Department. When I was on that traffic stop, I was backup for Officer Muth, and I observed a vehicle at a high rate of speed with no headlights on pass by me. So I asked for his registration, proof of insurance, and driver's license. He pulled his visor down, papers were dropping, and he was trying to grab the papers out of the visor. He just seemed confused. I believed at the time it possibly smelled like.
Riley's license is suspended, and officers decide to arrest Riley on a first offense for his suspended license.
Are you willing to do some voluntary field sobriety exercises?
Not really.
I learned that his license was suspended. Just go ahead and face the car for us. Your license is.
After detaining Riley, they ask him if he's.
A quick question for you. So I smelled on your vehicle. Did you recently?
No.
I believed at the time it possibly smelled like. You told Officer Muth that you didn't smell anything, correct? I don't believe I did. I believe I told her that I couldn't tell if it was the smell. That is your testimony here today? Yes, to my knowledge. I am now confronting the witness with her body worn camera. So I feel like I'm giving some indications, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't really smell anything right now. Do you think you can just talk to me? Daddy! So, when there doesn't use on smell anything right now, correct? I couldn't really smell anything.
You previously, or the defense previously mentioned that you made a comment relating to you couldn't really smell anything. Could you elaborate a little bit further as to what you meant when you said that?
When I walked up to the vehicle, it wasn't 100% apparent that the smell of alcohol was apparent to me. I wanted another officer to go there.
Once he's arrested for driving with a suspended license, they can search his car.
I entered the vehicle through the open door, and I searched multiple cavities in the front seat and the back seat.
Did you find anything in the vehicle of particular importance to your investigation?
Yes, I found a insulated cup that obtained liquid, and in the center console in the cup holder, and I also obtained a bottle from the seat cover pouch where the knees would go inside the vehicle in the driver's seat. It was a bottle of yellowish liquid.
Did Melita come down here today?
Oliver
Melita, she come down here today?
does his 360 and then goes back in the car, retrieving a sealed Melita. What was the sound of the seal on the bottle breaking? Well, Officer Muth questions Riley about again.
Somebody else in your car anyway?
Oliver tosses the empty bottle in the pursuit. Did not find any in the car.
Now, after Mr. Riley was arrested, you searched the car, is that correct? Correct. During that search, you found a bottle. Correct. And that was found in a pouch on the front of the driver's seat. Correct. I think you said earlier it would be if the driver was sitting behind their calves, behind their knees. Is that right? Yeah, behind the knees area. And while we found that pouch, was the 20 grand. Correct. And it's a smaller bottle. Correct. But bigger than the ones you get on planes. Yes. Mm-hmm. And the bottle was a twist top. Correct. When you found the bottle, you took it out of the pouch. And then you put the bottle on the seat. Yes. And you then to search the car. Correct. Mm-hmm. As part of that search, you opened containers you found in the car. Correct. Correct. Mm-hmm. During that search, you didn't find any. No. You didn't find any. No. You didn't find any pair. No. You didn't find any evidence besides the smell. Correct. Before finishing the search, you went back to that 20 grand bottle that you left on the driver's seat. Correct. And you picked up that bottle? Yes. You opened that bottle. Correct. That bottle was sealed before you opened it. Yes. And so you twisted the top of the bottle. Yes. And you broke the seal. Correct. And after you opened it, you dumped out the content. Correct. You dumped it onto the road. Correct. Then you put it back in the bottle. Yes. Then you put the bottle back into the car. Yes. You threw it on the passenger side. Yes. So you usually unseal bottles and dump them out. Typically, I don't unseal them, but as I was twisting, I realized it was unopened. And that was my fault. And has that always been your testimony? No. No, but previously you said that you didn't unseal it. Correct, I didn't believe I did. But now you know that you didn't. Yes, watching my body camera.
Rather than protect and defend the constitutional rights of Americans, the state, the prosecutor here, who you'll hear asking the questions, basically comes up with a cover story for Officer Oliver, claiming that she believed that it was policy to dispose of any liquids.
After you find this bottle in the defendant's front, near the front seat of his vehicle, what do you do with it?
I pour it out.
Why did you pour it out?
Because number one, our policy to impound, you cannot have liquids. And at the time, my mindset was that I was going to be impounding it. And then also, if the vehicle was going to be moved by a relative, I was not going to have inside the vehicle at the time.
But the worst thing here is the planting of evidence. So although his license was apparently suspended and they were able to arrest him on that, they charge him with DUI. They clearly want to convict him of DUI, a more serious charge. This is one of those DUI prosecutions where you don't have the field sobriety test, you don't have breathalyzer or BAC results. The officer is testifying as to other evidence, such as an empty bottle of that was found in the car. And what is the inference from that? That he drank it and then drove. But it was sealed. The officer unsealed it, dumped it out, put it back in the car, and then told the other officers that she found it opened. That is outrageous. That is planting evidence.
Then officer tells the senior officer that they found open car in both a bottle and a cup.
Yeah, open. Oh, okay. Yeah. You told Officer Muth about the bottle. Correct. And you told her that because she was the primary officer. Yes. Because she'd be writing the report. Correct. And you told her about the bottle because it was evidence. Correct. An open bottle found inside the car within reach of the driver would be big evidence for a DUI, right? Correct. And you told Officer Muth that the bottle was open? I don't remember my exact.
Just so happened everybody white and that dude was black.
I know that from seeing her report it was opened.
He was already wrong. You could have just left with that. He was already wrong. I went to prepare me something to eat. That's why I didn't know you had left the
I'll ask each other with their body cameras.
No, it's all good. That thing paused up on me. Yeah, that's crazy, man. You know, in the back of my head though, I was thinking about how,
Still,
that
all these soon we gonna see a lot of videos of it just happening to just Americans in general, not just black people, and it's happening more so. And honestly, like how what was it, Malcolm X that said the chicken coming home to roost, like, or was somebody said the chickens are coming home. It's already it's happening, man. It's definitely happening, and they don't want to accept that all this illegal shit that these cops and these agents are doing, from school meetings to locking you down, capping your time, telling you what and what, censoring you and all that's about the relationship that whites have with Negroes. And the fact that it was allowed to go on so long, they forgot that they was only doing it to specific people, and now they can't even do it to specific people, because once you mess with the people that you didn't kill, you kept alive, only to keep messing with them over and over and over, you just make them stronger, right?
right.
The average Negro is a walking constitutionalist. Even the dumb idiots who can't even read and spell. It got people who understand their rights better than they could tell you what the Second Amendment mean and articulate.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, they have an instinct for it. They know what's right and wrong. They know when the cops are wrong. They know how to, and they could navigate life better than you, a regular, average working class American or non-working class American who has never been able, who can't acknowledge that the sins of your fathers is basically what you're dealing with. All this unconstitutional shit is because they had all these years of practice on niggas. But the problem is, white people never been victims of it to the capacity that they are now, right? White Americans.
Right.
And, the government practice on niggas, now they're gonna do it to white people. And that's why they have to stop being inbreds. Because you can't change a power matrix if the leaders are your own family. It ain't gonna change.
No, you're right.
You get what I'm saying?
Good.
So all this, that's why I don't really care about politics like that. People be talking all this political shit. What a vote, nigga? That shit didn't mean nothing to me. It might mean something to you if you're not me, but if you're me, shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish off this video. It's about a minute and a half left.
Yeah.
Speaking with Officer Muth and Sergeant Smith about the case, correct? I don't remember the conversation. It was over a year ago. So you don't remember discussing indicators of impairment that you saw in Mr. Riley? I don't remember discussing that now. But I could have, I don't know. But your body worn camera off was off at that point.
Objection asked and answered.
I haven't asked that yet. So your body worn camera would have been off at that point. if things were discussed after I turned my body camera off, then yes, my body camera would have been off.
I've warned you about Florida many, many times. That is a state where the prosecutors wouldn't care if the cops planted evidence. So long as they believe that the guy did drink and drive, they will protect the cops. And that is apparently what they're doing here. We have it on video, yet they're still prosecuting the guy and still trying to use that evidence. I mean, from what I can understand, the public defender whom you hear questioning the witness here moved to suppress the bottle of, so that the state can't use it to try to convict him. And the judge, obviously a former prosecutor, as they almost always are, denied that. And so he's still allowing that evidence to be used against him. Crazy, crazy. And I hope there's some accountability here for really one of the rare instances that we have of police officers capturing themselves on video, planting evidence.
I like
that's just like crazy. Like you
That's
did
wild.
me wrong, and you're still trying to prosecute me.
And this is what I'm saying, bro. This is why I don't really believe in nothing systematic the way that these people be talking. You know, you're not gonna sell me that we need to have an extra compassion for somebody because they go in houses. Mind you, they do it for money, right? They get paid. It's not free,
Right.
and they get paid well. And not only do they get paid, they get status, social status. The fact that a person could say in public, "Wow, we should really have some compassion for cops and how hard it is and how much risky it is of a job." But the fucking place they working in is where people got to live. So if then I need to be commended and given a pat on my back for living in wherever these cops got to work.
Right. Well,
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm if it's so if it's such a bad environment and it's so crazy and the situations, they be like, well, but you don't. They're first responders. They have to be there to respond to danger. First of all, the reason why regular people don't respond to danger is because they're dopey robots, right? And they were taught that if they respond, they might get sued and all kinds of stupid nonsense. So therefore, they don't respond to danger. But in reality, people do respond to danger because they have compassion. The average person is not going to let somebody go through some dangerous shit if they see that they're vulnerable. People usually do help. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I just like I think it like I enjoy people as in general, but I do believe that white Americans do have an honesty problem, especially when it comes to like conversations about mass situations, like like group stuff. They don't like to be honest about certain things, and I just don't. That's why I don't even. Some people be like, oh, you. I had a coworker. He met me and shit, and he saw me in a warehouse. Right, the first time I met the brother, he starts talking about slavery and this and that, and I just was like, why you even bothering with this shit, man? And then so I became a coon in his eyes, right? But in reality, it's like if you really feel that way, why you exposing us? Why you can't just talk? Why we gotta let them know that you feel this way? But I don't really. I just see it as a sickness, and I know how to diagnose it. I know these people are inbreds, and certain populations of FBAs are inbreds too. I just know it, and I feel like everything else is just is like talking around something that's not going to change until these people are changed. And there's two ways to change people: you obliterate them in the physical, in the here and now, right? Or
right.
you integrate with them biologically. If you don't integrate with them, you obliterate them, or you turn them into drones, which I believe they're turning into pretty soon. Sort of like this robotic functionality of people that will all be intelligent. Even the dumbest kid that comes from us is gonna know this is a robot, but it's made in flesh, right? And so on and so
Right.
forth. Like they're just going to be like functional tools for everybody who's beyond the bullshit, who could see beyond, who's integrated enough to have enough relativity to everything. Because these people, Americans teaching you, and when I say Americans, because I don't believe in the government as a separate entity than the people who are brandishing it as a title for a job they have. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to convince me that Congress is not the human body. So, like, Like, I'm not sitting here thinking of a system that's evil. I'm thinking of evil people hiding behind a system because it all goes
Yeah.
back to biology, right? And
No.
so,
Fact.
you know, the majority of these American people that are in the government and are the people in position of power to actually enforce and make justice prove itself, they're not they're not able to do it. They're incapable of actually being what these titles what the expectation of. And the problem with them that they're having, the difficulty they're having right now, why they're so depressed, there's so many drugged up people, is because they spend so much time trying to prove to whoever. It's like they were lying to themselves because they can't lie to the people they were doing it to, right? Because if you're doing it to me, I know you're doing it to me, right?
Right.
But the population of white Americans were just straight up ignoring things for so long. And now what's happening is it's become a culture with the people, the agency people, the people who get government jobs, the people who work in hospitals. They got so comfortable for so many years fucking with other people that it's now those people that they used to fuck with are smart. The average nigga doesn't fall for stupid shit anymore. You have to outright kill us on camera, right? And that's hard saying. It used to be so easy to just grab a
Right.
Negro, arrest him for certain things, and he will not even fight. But now what Negroes do is we learn to fight. So even if we don't fight right then and there, we go and we sue. Or we make you we make a meme out of it, right? And then whatever. Or so what's happening now is they can't do that to the people who've been victims to this government abuse since ever the government was started. And so now what's happening is white Americans aren't prepared for the type of abuse their own people with government jobs are doing to them. They're just not. And that's a fact of life. And sometimes telling a white person that, they have so much pride they don't want to accept even that. And that's like, so that's why I don't even bother with these type of conversations. That's why I love to just bend everything back to biology, because once you make things out of existence, that's the peaceful remedy for everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is just like, we're just gonna argue about it back and forth. Okay, we might have an agreement, but the agreement still mathematically can only stretch this far, because terrain is terrain and reality is reality. And the agreement until somebody put that bullshit agreement. And if people are integrating biologically, all they're doing is making the same groups of people passing on the same nonsense, right, to the next generation, being the same way. So it's like dorky dad. He gonna raise a dorky son and
Yeah.
continue
You don't
doing the
know any.
same dorky shit.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah,
Now, before I get up out
So
of here,
it's all.
it's almost like, oh shit. But before I get up out of here, I'm gonna play this leading back to Sean Paul Reyes and the situation with Brian Fahey. And this how I know it's like Connecticut is done with him, at least as far as the Groton police.
Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another video. Behind me is the Connecticut State Police Training Academy, which houses the Connecticut Police Officer Standards and Training Council. We are here today in Meriden, Connecticut, to submit a revocation complaint for the certification of former Sergeant Brian Fahey. As we all have seen, he's engaged in egregious misconduct.
I should get to work. Is that what you're telling me?
If you're busy.
We're going to have a problem between you and I. I'm not the one. You want to stand there and hold your cell phone in my face. That's what you wanted to do.
Stop pushing me. I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in the building.
You have no business here.
I do have business here. Stop acting like a savage. What are you doing? We did that.
I'm a goddamn Connecticut State Trooper.
I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you
Get
are.
off my fucking
I don't care who you are.
right now.
Spit in my face.
Property
You're
right
going to
now.
jail now. Criminal misconduct, and he needs to be held accountable, and he needs to have his certification revoked so he is never a law enforcement officer in the state of Connecticut again. So I looked up the address. This is where that training council is apparently located. So we're going to go inside, ask some questions, see if we can submit this complaint here, as long as with all the evidence we have, I have the USB flash drive. I even brought my nifty press pass here. So let's get into it.
On that door.
This one? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Really? They just had that door open.
Really? Yeah, they saw me coming, huh?
Third time's a charm. Yeah, excuse me. Thank you. I'm doing. Yeah.
I got it. Thank you.
Hi, good to see you guys again.
Hey, how are you, ma'am?
Good, how are you?
Where's the POSTC office?
That I don't know. Give me 1 second. You got no one reporting. You got
I'm sorry? Yeah, I'm just here to see the commission.
Okay, you got the sign down here. Hold on.
Right. That's not a law, ma'am. I just wanted to see the commission.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll need to get one of the trees out here.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be right here. So it looks like they have some training session coming up here.
Sorry, just say rush right there.
So this is Connecticut State Police Training Academy. This is where officers like former Sergeant Brian Fahey learn to be tyrants and lie. Creative writing is a big course here at the Connecticut State Police Training. Creative writing. To put it nicely, creative writing. So this is the commissioner here. Let's take a look. Ronald Higgins is in the middle. Colonel Daniel Hoffman, who issued the statement saying that the internal affairs report was accurate, unbiased, complete, as opposed to my edited, deceiving videos. So I do have a new cameraman, my old cameraman, obviously, from being unjustly arrested. He decided that he didn't want to tag along anymore. I don't blame him. So I have the one and only Leroy Truth from Leroy Truth Investigations. He also does not have a hood or a mask, as the Connecticut State Police wanted to say in their report here. So we're here today to submit a complaint with the POSTC, Connecticut Police Officer Standards and Training Council. Here's the report here. Here's the complaint here. We're trying to speak to somebody to get former Sergeant Brian Fahey's certification to be a law enforcement officer here in the state of Connecticut revoked.
Definitely not going to happen.
As we've all seen, over millions of people have witnessed, brandished a firearm, spat in my face. You can see over here in the auditorium, they are conducting a training session right there. Again, we're here to. Hey, sir, who are you?
No, who are you?
Who are you? So you
Who are you?
You came to speak to me.
Credentials looking? Who are you? You have your credentials on?
Yeah.
Get in the front door.
Oh, I was let in, sir. Who are you? Who are you, sir?
By who?
Who are you, sir?
By who?
I don't know anybody's name. Nobody wants to give me their name like you.
You need to exit. This is a secured building. You need to exit the building immediately. There is no videotaping. There's a sign right there. It says no audio or videotaping it at all. You need to exit the building.
That's not a law. This is
you need to exit the building immediately.
Right, but I'm here to see a public office. The public.
The building immediately.
Am I
This is not a public office.
Am I in the wrong space? Is this where the Connecticut Police Officer Standards and Training Council
This
is?
is not it. No. Goodbye.
Yeah, this is where it is.
Sir.
Do you mind if I get your name before I leave, sir?
No, you can leave.
Sawyer?
Sounds all types of unlawful.
But
This is a secured building.
And then the other guys are just sitting there not saying anything.
It says it right in there. No audio, no recording. Goodbye.
Connecticut Police Officer
Have a good day.
Standards and Training Council.
Have a good day.
Is that where this office is?
Have a good day.
Sir, I'm not a threat to you. I'm a journalist. I'm asking questions. I wanted to submit this complaint.
Have a good day.
Go.
You see, the troopers aren't really saying anything. It's weird.
We're not answering any questions. Have a good day.
Sir, this is where the Connecticut Police Officer Standards and Training Council is, correct?
The outside, yeah, good. You can film right in front of, and that's
All right, I'm out of the building now.
That's it.
This is the address where
All the way out.
I am out of the building.
So we can
sir.
close the door, sir.
Thank you. This is a secured facility. It's a secure building.
It's not so secure if I got here, right? I walked in.
It doesn't matter. Close the door now, sir. Okay, thank you. You see the
Sir,
code?
where is
Code to get in.
I didn't enter a key code.
Hi, guys.
Weird.
Sir, do you know where the Connecticut Police Officer Standards and Training Council gives this address, and it says it's open to the public from 9 to 4, sir?
So this building isn't open to general public.
But do you know where the Training Council is, sir? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And they get away with that.
So just to be clear, the Connecticut Police Officer Standards and Training Council, the complaint for verifications of such certification, I looked it up online, and I was told to come here, 285 Preston Avenue, Meriden, Connecticut. It said that it was open from 9 to 4.
See, that's a whole different part of Connecticut. First is Groton. They just all these officers and all these officials, they just defending each other. The First Amendment soon is going to be like the Bible. Is just going to be a word. It's not going to mean anything. I promise you this. It might not be today or tomorrow. Of course, it won't be today or tomorrow. But give it 5-10 years, the Constitution, your rights, they're like the Bible is not going to mean anything. Yeah, you got any words before we get up out of here, Sauce? All right, well.
Am I in there?
I appreciate everybody. Oh, no, you're not muted.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, sir.
Hear me?
Ms. Brenton, I didn't even know you was out here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro. Yo, nobody shits on the Constitution more than a white American person with a government job, bro. And that's just the bottom line. And that's something they gotta address. And they don't address that, and that's what comes off as racism to people, because the majority is just white people with jobs that's in the government breaking rules and power tripping. So what end up happening is any black person who's suffering the wrath of that is liable. Hey, that's racism, and now they hyperinflate it, and it inflates the racist bullshit. But in reality, that white person behaves like that with everybody. They're power tripping, and the agency keeps protecting them because it's now a culture that goes beyond racism. It's just what they do now when they have these jobs. And the longer they take to address this problem, the worse it gets.
And it's gonna continue to get even worse and worse. And if the people don't come together soon, because you got people split. People think that it's okay for the police to do what they do, and you got people like us, of course, who don't. And we gotta have to. It has to be some type of resolution, and it's gonna take more than YouTube. It's gonna take more than people getting arrested. It's gonna take something physical, and it's gonna take for people to be deleted or exterminated, because it's too much. It's too much evidence showing corruption, and no one's doing anything about it.
No one's doing anything about it, bro. And the thing is, some people do stuff about it, but what they do is they gaslight you. And this is why, again, you can't take stories of, oh, cops got eliminated just like that, just as the hard evidence. There's details that we don't get. Black on black crime is not just black people just attacking black people, right? It's a more detail. It's really a citizen either defending themselves or getting revenge on something that happened and occurred behind the curtains. Right?
Times, yes.
So this idea, I mean, yeah, man, it bothers me that they can't just acknowledge that they watch a video of somebody not doing resisting arrest and then somehow still or even place the person under arrest and then say it's resistant. I don't, dude, I went through a jury situation here in Oregon in Springfield, right? My kid was wilding out. I yelled at him a little bit, spanked him in his butt. Some dudes two men call freaking they call the police. Anyway, 30 minutes after this incident, he's calmed down. We're sitting in the car waiting on his moms to come out of a Dollar Tree. Here come the police, arresting me, and I had to spend a night in jail trial, I beat the part where they did disorderly conduct and the alleged abuse of my kid or whatever. I beat that. Even the people who was investigating me because of that, right, they was like, whatever, man. Anyway, I beat that in trial, but the jury, these people said I was guilty of resisting arrest. Also, there was a video of me not resisting arrest, just saying, hey, look, you see what happens when you wild out in stores? It could trickle down to this. I was just talking to my son, right? And
Good, you good.
I didn't resist at any point in time, bro. I'm like wondering what kind of people would acknowledge, yeah, you know, he wasn't abusing his son in the store. He wasn't causing a scene. These two men are just disturbed people who made a phone call, because really, once I ain't getting to the details of it, but basically they expose themselves as being retarded weirdos, whatever, right? And I beat that, so the cops had no business arresting me in the first place. So how the fuck even if I was fighting them, right? How the fuck is that resisted arrest? But the people
Right.
saw
You're
me in the video
unlawfully
not
detained.
resisting arrest, bro. I'm not even talking about the DA doing this. I'm talking about a jury. They picked these 12 Martian motherfuckers to sit there, and these people was like, yeah, we agree with the DA when he said that, because the law states that in Oregon you don't have a right to resist arrest even if the arrest is illegal. Nigga, that's
Wow.
unconstitutional. And my stupid ass lawyer didn't even tell him, hey, but you as a jury have the right to basically say to hell with that law, believe this person's innocent. You know, that's
Yeah.
the one thing my lawyer didn't do. You know, and I'm like, and that's why I'm like, yo, I don't believe in nothing, man. Everybody saw the government committed treason for the past 5 years. The 2020, the way they handle it, the laws, the mandates, all that shit was illegal and fucking up people's lives and businesses, right? Nobody
Right.
jail yet, bro. Nobody who's passing these laws and committing it is in jail yet. They made people in the military poison themselves. That is treason. Nobody's in jail or hung yet. So I don't want to hear nothing about professionalism. I don't care how much years you put into a job. If your dad did it, to me that means nothing, because we're in America. If we was in another country, right, where their
Right.
system works and it makes sense, oh, all right, but because I'm in America and I study well and I live well and I've been in different parts of it and I know a lot of different kinds of Americans, you're not gonna sit
People
here and gaslight me about nothing. That's just another human being power tripping with a label. You're not special because you a cop. You're not special because you a doctor. Because I could cure people and I have done it already. You know what I'm saying? You're not special because you got a certificate. All the fact that these people are so corrupt, it renders all that shit mute. It's null and void. Your ability to go around and say, "Hey, I am a professional," something in America is null and void. You're a carpenter, you build houses, you do construction. Guess what? These houses are overpriced, cheap shit, and you continue to build it because it's your job and you need to feed your family, and you're not going to fight and protest for the rights of people to know that these houses are overpriced crap. A 22 bullet could go through the average house and hit you in your head, right? So realistically, all this shit is null and void. Nobody's professionalism mean nothing to me, bro. If you want to make money doing being gimmicky online, do that. Fuck it. At this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm starting to feel, man. Sorry, damn. I don't know if this was therapy or this was a podcast. What we doing? Oh shit, what we doing, bro?
Yeah, the internet is wild.
My apologies for not getting these things earlier. Like I said, I'm still working with the new service. So Julie, Grace, yeah, I appreciate all of y'all who came out, who you know, shared your time with me. But like I said, I appreciate you. Move, Source Being. I appreciate y'all for coming out. Doc, always, I appreciate y'all for coming out. but I'm about to get up out of here. Yeah, I'ma holler at y'all fellas.